Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Roll For It, where your favorite YouTubers and streamers get together to play some lovely tabletop RPGs. Of course, today we are playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, Silence of Shadows, our lovely sequel to Sounds of Silence. So, we have the entire cast here today. We have a few announcements. So, today, our supporter is Kirby. Thank you, Kirby, for supporting today's episode and making it possible to pay the majority of the cast cost. Thank you very much. I'm sure that this episode will go perfectly fine and no one will die at all. So thank you very much, Kirby, for doing so. Also, next week, we do not have an episode of VTM, sadly, because people are away. What we do have instead is a special Valentine's Day one-shot of Monster Hearts, GM'd by Random Tuesday, and that will be a load of different players who you will be finding out during the week. I think I have an asset for that somewhere, but it has disappeared. Where'd you go, asset? I have no idea where my asset went. You ever get the feeling that you're like, I know I did something, but I'm not sure where it went. Either way. So, Monster Hearts. If you're interested, it'll be up on Saturday at the same time, and it will be a whole load of fun. There is a very interesting cast for it. I'm sure it's going to be chaos. So if you're interested, you can check that out. VTM will be back the week after. Also, Karate's character sheet is coming soon. A monthly recap is coming soon. And that is all the announcements for today. So without further ado, I'm going to do the shilling, the spiel, and then we can go through, you know, the general, hey, this is VTM, warning label. So if you want to know where you can support us, you can support us over at patreon.com/rollforit, where we have a number of tiers, a number of different rewards. We find it very important that we, you know, pay all our cast and so on, and we try and pay artists and so on as fairly as we can. So if you can support us, that'd be great. It allows us to keep doing stuff. If you want to do so, you can do so over at Patreon. There's a number of tiers, and stuff like access to Discord, MP3s. Then there's stuff like after shows. Stuff like NPC information, party information, so you get access to stuff like player character sheets, NPC sheets, GM polls to sort of determine a few things about how things are going to happen in the game. There's also NPC name list, where we have a name list that you add to, and then we can draw them to be random NPCs. And there's also Legend tier, where you just get to be in a game GM by member of the Roll For It cast once every month. You can also support on Twitch. You can subscribe, you get access to VODs, you get emotes, and you get access to Discord. You can support us on YouTube, become a member. You get access to emotes and Discord. You can use tips or bits, which go into the pot down there. And you can support us in non-monetary fashion by telling people about the show. I believe World of Darkness are doing a survey at the moment, and part of it touches on like stuff like streams and so on. So if you want to do that survey and give feedback to World of Darkness people,
mention all of us.
Do that. Mention Roll For It and Sounds of Silence and all of us, and how you love it, and that they should give us more stuff. Yeah. Oh, totally.
No, do it. Link it. Share
Wait,
it.
do we have a link for that?
Yeah,
okay, I'm on it. I'm gonna go find that link. You keep talking to E.
Okay, mods, make sure that Dot gets to post the link and the Moobot doesn't kill her. But yeah, okay, that's a thing you can do. Already done. Thank you, Goodman. Right, there you go. So, hi, welcome to World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade on Roll For It. By default, this setting is dark, dystopian, horrible, and has like lots of nasty elements in it. We want to try and portray that as truly and fairly as possible, rather than trying to sugarcoat it. And so, hi, this will contain scenes of every nature. So there'll be violence, sex, ritual sacrifice, God knows. It will vary depending on the day. Yeah.
There will be violent sex.
Violent sex
yep.
and violent
sacrifice.
That's about all we're good at.
Okay.
Off to a good start.
I'm just talking about Ava's summer right there. Anyway.
Oh, man. I'm glad that this is still part of the trigger warning.
Yeah, all right, hang on. Because my coffee's almost here. So
keep ripping, E.
did you find that link?
Yeah. Wait, they already posted it. They said they posted it.
Oh, great. Yeah, they posted it. Thank you very much. So, hi, yeah, just bear in mind that there will be lots of problematic things in this show, and that is because we are portraying problematic things that are part of the universe, and we're trying to treat them as fairly and carefully as we can. But if they are a problem for you or a trigger for you, feel free to, mute the stream for a bit, skip an episode, get a cup of tea, whatever you need to do, take care of yourself. Also, we are going to be portraying characters who do nasty things, because we are vampires, and by dint of just being a vampire, you have a lot of nasty things that come along with that, even if you try and be a relatively decent vampire. And if you don't, you end up being Ava. So, I don't know why I've decided to pick on Ava today. It's just pick on Ava day. Sorry.
It's fine.
Is it, though? Is it?
Only if you pick on every one of us for the next following episodes.
Perfect.
Fair,
okay.
It's fair, E.
It's going to be 2 weeks, so you'll have to remind me. But, yes.
Next week is Dakota and,
and then Ollie.
Yeah.
And then I want to see you rip on yourself.
I mean, I do that all the time. I mean,
and the three of us just tear him apart. It's the roasting, Crowley.
The roast of Crowley. No, that's a Valentine's Day episode I'd watch.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that should be 18 rated, and Crowley would probably be down for.
Definitely.
Oh, man.
So where was I? Oh yeah, we're playing characters who do problematic things. We are not ourselves our characters. We are people portraying character. So bear that in mind, and feel free to hate on certain characters or whatever, or dislike their actions. But we're still portraying them. We are not them. So if anything, just be like, well done, you did a thing that is not you. Good job on not having your character be you, and stuff like that. Whatever. Yeah, just enjoy that.
Instead of coming down the street where my house is, he went on the highway and went the opposite direction with my coffee. So who knows going, and who knows what I'm going to get.
He's holding your coffee hostage, Mappus.
He's going further down the highway right now and getting further away. I don't know where he's going. I've had that
before. Like, I was like in the city center, and I was like, I ordered food, and I was like, I'm really hungry. And the food was like, oh, it's coming to you. I was like, I'm going to step outside. And I watch on the map as it goes around the inner ring road, and I'm in the center, and it's just going around me, and I'm like, how can you not? How?
I was literally like down the street. Like he needed to pass the exit, and I would have been like the next left or right. Instead, he just jumped on the highway and off he goes.
Oh, great.
And he just got off the highway, but he's far away now, so he's gonna have to either jump back on or he's gonna take the side roads. Who knows, guys? Who knows when I'm getting my coffee? Until then, I've got cranberry blueberry coffee mix, and then I'm gonna try it right here.
You know what? We're blaming this delivery driver. They probably tried to turn off, but like there was a cute cat in the middle of the road, and they had to swerve back into the highway. And
fucking hit that shit, dude! I need my caffeine.
See, okay, when Mathis does that, he's the problem in this case.
He's gonna call you and be like, "Look, I've been watching." Sounds of silence. And
I was gonna say
that would be the worst.
Say that to Grace.
If I ever answer the door to DoorDash and like, I watch and they just name something, I'll be like, I'm never using this app again, and I delete it.
Yeah. You're Mathis Games. Yeah.
Well, you say that. Just a funny thing happened the other day. So I was hanging out with my friends doing some bowling, and I was like, this is cool, And some guy comes up to me, not to the group, not to my friends, comes up to me and goes, are you double E? And I was like, sorry, what do you say? And he said, double E from Duncan so-and-so's videos. And I was like, wait, what? Double E from Duncan. I was like, say that again? Double E from Duncan, blah, blah, blah's videos. And I was like, no. He was like, oh, sorry. I was like, how do you mistake me, not my friends, not the group, me specifically, for a different YouTuber?
It happened.
Who also has...
I got cornered. My worst and only bad fan encounter story I have is I was at a wedding. And somebody recognized me, and so they followed me around the whole time pitching me the game they were developing. And I was just like, I am not here for this. I am here for my friends getting married. Wow. Anyway, I have to get up in a second. So, are we ready to start?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I was trying
we're going to be rewinding. Longer, but... We're going to be, it's 5 to 10 more minutes. So we're going to jump in. We're going to rewind prior to when the Coterie drove through Chinatown. Prior to when Crowley walked into Chinatown all by himself. Prior to when the party told Crowley a whole lot of things. Way back to when we were looking at two silhouettes standing in a house with one man holding another man over his shoulder who was unconscious, and Dakota, shorter than the others, but no less feral or dangerous looking, standing before them. They were about to have a conversation before we cut camera 2 weeks ago. Kind of get into that mindset right now. You have Rowan over your shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be rich.
Just to refresh your memory, Dakota, you're in this area because beyond what you were looking for art-wise, you heard gunshots over this area. It's kind of what
right. And I ran in. Yeah. And saw him. He shot the cop.
No, he shot the old man. The cop looked dead and laid out on the lawn, and you picked it up and hurled it in the nearby bush just to like put it out of the way for now. You walked in and you saw Ollie with Rowan over his shoulder. Ollie saw Rowan blow the old man's brains out. And that's where the two of you kind of like turned and faced each other, and that's where it was cut.
Yeah. We had the scuffle where I tried to choke him out and he wanted to shoot himself.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Dakota, that's right. No, that's right. Yeah, that was that little scuffle, right? Dakota was part of. She whacked the guns out of his hand, but there wasn't much interaction between the quick attack and then.
And he's passed out.
He's over. Yeah, well, yeah. Ollie got behind him. You helped him. Ollie choked him out and threw him over his shoulder.
Yeah. So we're I think it ended with you asking me like what is going on. It's like and I ended by saying I'm dealing with Rowan, dealing with my son. And that's where we cut scene. So he's over shoulder, and I can imagine this advances to us like locating the sewer immediately. Oh God, where would I even take him?
Depends on if you and Dakota want to have words, because I don't know if Dakota's going to follow you.
I just stare at you blankly.
Unless she says something, probably not going to.
Do you want some help? I ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna need help. This is not gonna be easy.
Okay, you're gonna be. Where are you taking him?
I don't know, but far away from here.
That's kind of a good idea, because I'm gonna. I need to take care of the house.
All right. Let's see. Can I take him to? Damn. There's not really. I don't really have a lot of places that I could take him.
You have two places kind of come to mind off the top of my head. You have your bar, obviously.
Yeah.
And you have Zach's old sewer area.
Septic tank. That's the one.
Yeah, the septic tank. That's the one I was looking for.
Was I aware of that?
I thought you were. Am I incorrect in knowing? Because it was close.
Only Ava
I know
knows,
Ava
but Ava
knew.
might have shared it. Depends if Ava shared
Dakota
Ava took
took
Dakota.
me there.
it. Oh.
Ava
Yeah,
thought
I
Dakota.
know.
Okay, so Ollie might be the only one that doesn't actually know where it's located.
You've also
Then
got my house.
Hey,
I would say that. I don't know where I'm going to take him, but I got to get him out of sight. I got to get him someplace where I can tie him up or tape him down or something.
okay. Well, you said the bar was closed tonight.
I can't take him back to the bar. He's not a part of this world, and if he's close to it, but he's not a part of it. And if he walks out of this, then he knows where I am, where anybody else can be. He just walked into an old governor's house and just blew his face through.
Yeah. I'll handle that. What about Crowley's place or Ava's?
I don't know where Crowley. I don't know where Ava. I don't know where anybody's staying.
You could.
Dakota, I need help. Just take me, please.
Okay, he's here again. Be back.
There's a place on my boat.
That's way too close, kid. We can't have him on the boat like that.
Where else are we supposed to take him? That's all I've got. You got more secure locations in your bar than I do. What if
What about, you said Crowley's, right?
Yeah, he has some sketchy basement apartment like a serial killer.
That's perfect.
Okay. I look around, noting there's now a dead police officer. We've already had cops on the scene. I go, I kind of reach in and I find like an receipt or a dollar bill. Oh, that's right, I have money on me. I grab a dollar bill and I quickly write down a location.
Okay.
And I give it to you.
Chicago local. I'm gonna know where it is.
Yeah. Gonna maybe be mad about it. I don't know if he's there. I don't know what everybody's up to.
Just give me a unit number, and I'll go. I don't know when you're going to see him or if he's going to be there, but it's time to call in a favor.
Okay.
Okay, what are you doing?
She scribbled his address, Crowley's address down, a location on a dollar bill, since she's just come across some money. And
True.
I'm heading in that direction. She gave me a unit number or someplace that I can go to find this, and I'm going to travel by sewer in that direction.
Okay. So we see Oliver head out the back door, hop over a fence, and make his way through the rather large yard and down a few houses before he feels safe enough where he can peel out from the backyards over there, cross the dark street as the power is still all out over here. And we see Ollie travel maybe a block or two before a sewer grate greets his feet. He's able to lean down and pull it without effort, hop down into the sewers he goes, heading back south towards Anarch territory. Dakota sticks around for a little while, however. What do we see Dakota do after you see Ollie dissipate and you watch as he disappears for a while? Again, just to relay the scene beyond the body on the floor with the head that has been mutilated from the sawn-off shotgun, you have a cop car sitting outside with a police officer that you hucked in the bushes and just a mess all over this house.
Do I have a number for my police contact?
You do. You just don't have a phone, but there's a phone in here.
There's a phone on the police officer? The body out front?
Oh, yeah. You, if you want to, you go outside and check.
Okay, so the first thing Dakota does is pull down the cameras in the house.
As Dakota, Dakota, can I please get wits investigation? I'm not looking for a super high number, so don't worry.
That's really good. Because...
One success. You pull the camera down to the front and the back. The two that you knew of and the only two that you see. If there are any hidden cameras throughout the house, either you need to spend way more time going through this big house or...
Nope, two's perfect. I just want them to still be in usable condition and I want to pop them down.
Sure. So Dakota goes to the front door first, up over the door that actually looks at the walkway that walks up the front door as a camera. And we see Dakota kind of dig her left hand into the wall just to lift herself up a couple of inches. And you just kind of get your grip around the back and you just kind of yank it as the wires come loose. Actually, it's battery powered and it's Wi-Fi. So
perfect.
It comes unscrewed off. This is a rich area of town. This is not the typical CCTV camera. So you just rip it off the brick wall as brick dust crumbles into your face and hits the ground, just kind of and blow it out. But and then you go to the back and it's a very similar setup and you just yank that one off too.
All right.
It crumbles.
I put those deep in the cargo pockets on her pants and I run out front. I grab the policeman's body.
Sure. We see you do go through the house. I'm assuming you just go cut through the house. Right through
cut
the center,
straight through the center. Yep.
Over to the bushes where the police officers laid out. Now that you have a good look at him and you're really close, you could just see a shotgun blast in his upper chest. Just blew a hole in his back.
Fantastic. Okay. I'm gonna take his wallet.
Okay.
Because that's what I do now, and I'm going to put his body in the trunk of his car.
Okay. If the car is locked, does she take the time to figure out how to pop it, or do you just
he's got to have keys, right? He drove in on this car.
They're not dangling on him. He was out doing business, so they're gonna be in the car somewhere.
Well, as long
the car
as
was still running, the lights were still on. It was still he wasn't planning on staying here long.
Oh, I see. Okay, perfect. Even better. I'll pop the trunk. I just want to make sure it still closes because I don't need a body tumbling out on the highway.
Too long. You go to the driver's side area. There's the lock that you can pop. The trunk you can hear pop open, and you head over to the back, throw it open, and in the back you see shotgun and all kinds of just police equipment in the back. But you make some room, kind of move things out of the way, curl him into as best a ball as you can, but his body is just
police equipment.
Huh? He's like 5'9", 5'10". Yeah, it's a police car.
Okay.
You just tuck it in the trunk. Close it, just jam a couple times until this knee just gives out enough where exactly until eventually boom, it slams shut.
Okay, Dakota quickly runs back in the house. I want to try to collect as many bullet casings that I see, shotgun blasts, the blasts from earlier in the evening, pick as many up as possible, pop those in my pocket.
Okay, well, before you do any of this, then the question is, how long does Dakota plan on sticking around the crime scene?
I need to move quickly, so I want to do it as fast as possible.
Wits awareness is the fast version, but the difficulty is much higher.
Okay.
4 successes. You're able to pick up a lot of loose cases that are sat around. What actually surprised you is there's no like loose casings. There's just a couple of empty shotgun shells.
Perfect. Oh, interesting. Okay. Now I got to move the old man's body. We went through all the bedrooms upstairs. Was there one that looked like his bedroom?
No, the only bedrooms I thought the only bedrooms you went through were the 4 that were surrounding the outside, and they were all identical.
Yeah. The one, I guess, wherever we came in.
There's other rooms up there that all of you never fully explored. You could bring him up there, and you're likely to find his master bed.
Perfect. That's what I need to do. I want to take him to his master bed, and I want to put him in it.
Okay. You pick up his body, and then just like just thick viscous fluid just kind of eeps out of his empty hole of a neck where his body and once was. What's left of his face dangles, and you can feel the wet sloppiness hit the back of your jacket as you make your way up the stairs as quickly as you can, throwing open doors left and right until eventually what looks like the master bedroom greets you. You run inside, and you said you just kind of hurl his body on the bed.
Well, no, I want to like put him in the sheets. I want to make him look like he was sleeping.
So you pull over the covers, and unfortunately, while you want to make it look like he's sleeping, you're a fucking bloody mess, and he's a bloody mess.
It's true.
So as you reach forward, your dirty, bloody hands leave immediately like prints all over it. Not necessarily that you have fingerprints, but just looks like someone grabbed him, pulled him back.
Mm-hmm.
And when you tuck him in, it just oozes immediately into the bed and just soaks through, and it's the slow puddle just starts to eat from the top. But you throw the covers up as quickly as you can.
Okay.
Not bad for a headless corpse. Looks like if he was a headless corpse, he would be sleeping.
Yeah, maybe put him, his head back or whatever. Like he's like laying there or whatever. Just kind of, I need to make him look.
His head is in bits. There is no like head put back.
Dakota plays like
Perfect.
jigsaw puzzle, put the bits back together.
I don't worry about all of that. I look for, is there a candle in the room and a furnace?
Not in the room, but you can look around and find one.
I'd like to find a furnace and break a gas line.
Sure.
And then I'm going to take the cop's phone, and I need to make a phone call, and then I need to get moving.
So we see Dakota after she takes maybe 20 minutes to get this body upstairs, to get everything set up, tuck it in, all that other stuff. She makes her way downstairs, and on her way out, she finds where the boiler room is on the first floor. Rips the door open, and just there's pipes and whatnot. And you just sharpen what claws you can and just shrink, and you just rip holes in all of them. You can hear and you see steam and gas filling up, and you just make your way out the front door, over to the police car, swing the door open, and start rummaging through all of this stuff. Can I get a wits awareness as well?
Of course you can.
Your favorite skill?
My favorite skill, which I really just need to put more points into. A 3.
It doesn't take you long, maybe 5 minutes before you find what is undoubtedly his personal cell phone, and you maybe even just like, yes, and you can grab it and put it in your pocket. What do we see Dakota do after she finds the cell phone?
I dial up my police contact.
Okay. Do you ask to meet, or do you talk to him on the phone out of curiosity?
That's a good question. No, I tell him we need to meet.
Okay.
Oh God, no, that's a hard one.
I know.
Oh fuck, that's a really hard one.
So it rings about 3 or 4 times before a groggy voice on the other side answers. Oh.
Wake up, shithead! I need to talk to you.
Oh fuck, who's this?
Who the fuck do you think it is?
When you say that, it takes him just a few seconds. What's up?
I need you to do me a favor.
All right. Well, I'm sleeping right now. Can it be tomorrow?
Well, get your fat ass out of bed and get it down to the corner of blank and blank.
Okay. And you hear him grumble. This better be fucking worth it. And you hear click, and he hangs up.
Okay, great. I'm gonna meet him at around the corner.
Yep.
Wherever this location is.
It takes him about 45 minutes to get there from the time you talk to him. But eventually, you're probably hiding somewhere around a building or in one of the or on top of the roof of a building.
I'll tell you, if it took him that long, I would have moved the police car by now.
Okay. Yeah. No. Definitely, it would have taken him that long. He doesn't live close. So where would you move it? Just like down the street around the block?
I just need to move it down the street around the block and park it and turn it off for now so that it's not as suspicious on property until I can get this handled.
There's nobody else around. It's still late at night. Nobody has any idea there's a second crime scene on the crime scene that they're closing down for the evening. So you drive the car maybe a good 50 feet around a corner, turn it off, make sure the lights are off. It takes you a little bit of fiddling, trying to figure out what buttons do what, and every once in a while, whoop, shit, that's the siren, But eventually the lights come off and Dakota scampers back out and waits before eventually an Oldsmobile putters up. Out of the 4 tires, the one on the driver's side is actually just a donut at this point. It wasn't a donut last time. He hit a hole at some point. This old guy, you've seen him before. The guy you met at bars during season 1, and partially during season 2. He's wearing sweatpants, a white t-shirt, and just like a windbreaker jacket over it. He walks over to the nearest building, looks around, doesn't see you because you're off and hiding. He leans up against a wall and just lights up a cigarette.
Perfect. I walk down next to him.
As he takes his first drag, you pop up behind him. Do you say anything, or just kind of like stand next to him?
You look like shit.
Fuck. Don't do that. It's 3:00 in the morning.
I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, you said that.
Around the corner, there's a big smancy mansion.
Okay.
I need you to go upstairs to the room on the left, ignore what's in the bed, light a candle, and leave quickly.
He thinks, and did you give him the address, or did you just say like the how, like a big mansion?
Until he seems to be more down with it, I'm not giving him the address.
Okay, he thinks for a minute, and he's like, and what's in it for me?
Well,
you, I assume, are asking me to get rid of what?
What is it that you desire? I just look him up and down in his current state.
He takes a real long drag off of his cigarette, and he just watches it, just locks eyes with you where he's clearly thinking before the smoke just hits your face and billows past you. He watches as you clearly don't breathe and don't take it in. I'll get back to you.
Wonderful. You'll have to come find me, though. I crack the phone that I used to call him, and I kind of toss it.
He smiles. He's like, fine. But don't be hiding from me if I'm about to do you a big old favor. Where?
How do you feel about boats?
I got seasick on a cruise once.
Perfect. You can find me down in Northerly Isle.
Gotcha. All right. Well, what house am I lighting a vigil candle for?
And I tell him the house and the address. And I say, don't touch anything.
No, you give him the
Upstairs.
house and the address, and there's an immediate pause.
You're not getting cold feet on me, are you?
No, I'm just starting to learn the details that you left out.
There are
What
no
happened?
details.
Listen, I'm gonna wake up in about 3 hours from now, walk into that precinct, and I'm gonna hear it one way or another. So I want to hear from the horse's mouth, so I know what to say and who to cover if I need to.
Fine, cat, fine. There was an unnecessary death.
Ah, fuck, he's dead.
He is.
That's gonna be a problem, but
I
did
want to
you
make
do it.
No, I did not. He's not my type.
Promise.
Promise.
That's all I need. Don't say anything else. You didn't do it. You're asking me for a favor. It's a big fucking favor. But I'll come knocking when I need payment.
You know where to find me.
You said come looking at Northerly Isle. I will. Speaking of, you there often?
I like to eat in the area.
He shakes his head. He's like, well, have you heard anything about a missing guy from that used to work down there?
No.
There's just been a missing persons case the past few days. Well, if you hear anything, it'd be useful. Might even help me get a promotion. And he smiles.
Really? Well, I'm not the only one that hunts in that area. I'll see what I can do.
He nods. He's like, well, if you have details and you learn about what might have happened over there and I find out before the one who's in charge of the investigation, maybe we consider it a favor paid. Think on it. And with that, he walks over to his Oldsmobile, throws himself in the car. He takes his last drag and flicks it over the roof into the middle of the street. And his door just creaks and it shuts before the engine revs up. He's like, I gotta go say a prayer. And he
kind of like wave back at him.
Yep, and then the thing sputters off around the corner and
I'm gonna
down the
eat
road.
him one day.
I think he's about to blow up.
I eat all my contacts. Okay. Dakota then pops in the police car. I need a good place to store this without attention.
Well, your contacts are minimal when it comes to that kind of thing.
It's true.
You know Ollie has you don't know how deep his pockets go. You don't know how deep he's embedded with criminals, but you do know that he's been working on with the Ventru here and there. He hasn't kept that a secret from the Coterie. Maybe he has something you can maybe he has somebody you can go to take care of something like this.
Okay. Well, for now, because I'm a little short on time, and there's nothing suspicious about a police car just sitting on a block empty. Police do that all the time. Dakota's going to try to find a corner or
where do you want to leave it? What town do you want to leave this car in?
Yeah. Oh, damn, gang. I need to leave it. I feel like I need to leave it. I want to leave it in Crowley's neighborhood.
Oh, that's Anarch territory.
Great. Perfect. I'm going to be just on the cusp of Anarch territory.
All right, you're going to be on the border then of the 55 on the other side of the river.
Yep.
And Archer Heights is like, well, actually, so that leaves the question. Do you stay on the other side of the 55, or do you go into Archer Heights where Camarilla claims is their territory, but that's kind of where the war and the fighting is happening?
No, I don't need to get involved in all that tonight.
Okay, so on
one night at a time. Yeah, I'll stay up north of 55. I just want to find like a really empty area.
Okay. Can I get a from you give me a wit streetwise?
Oh.
Come on, Maya.
3. Oh, I'm sorry, a 1.
A 1.
It was a delay.
I mean, a success is a success. You find a place that's pretty hidden. It's not like hard to find if anybody just meanders the right area in the right spot.
Right.
But it's not, it's not buried under trash bags, but it's good enough. Good enough for Dakota where she could easily walk from this and head back home.
There's got to be, you said the trunk had things in it. There didn't happen to be like a cop bag or something, because I would like to pull out the CB radio.
Oh, like a duffel bag?
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely a CB radio. You could pull off of his shoulder.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to take his CB radio. I want to take any weapons that are on them and that are in the car.
You get a pump shotgun or I'll give you the specifics of it,
Perfect.
The name of it, but a shotgun, and you can get the pistol off of his sidearm as well.
And I add the 2 cameras to the bag and sling it over my shoulder, close it, lock the truck, beep, beep. And
do you hop the keys?
No, in fact,
nope,
I keep the keys.
Okay. Keep the keys, throw those in the bag, and you start strolling towards Northerly Isle where the night will dissipate for the rest
correct, and Camille and all that jazz.
Yep, exactly, where the rest of things happen.
Correct.
Meanwhile, we go back. Ollie, we'll learn about all of that soon. For now, the camera pans down. It goes through the road into the sewers underneath and begins to zoom around corners and this dizzying maze of tunnels and plumbing, until eventually we hear distant splish, splish, splish as feet are hitting puddles, and in the distance, the large silhouette of Bub, Ollie the Butcher Hopkins, and Rowan over his shoulder. Rowan, where are you? You said you're going to Crowley's. You go walking for a while. Are you trying to get there as fast as you can, or are you taking your time, or is Ollie like just kind of in thought? Like how fast and how panicky is Ollie in this situation?
Well, I before we hit the sewers, I would have made sure that he didn't have anything additional on him. Like, I'm going to pat
Sure,
him
you
down.
would have stripped him of all of whatever you consider dangerous, down to his clothes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Easy enough. He wasn't carrying much.
And
unsurprising.
I'm going to make sure that I dip the usual hangouts for Flick. Also
to
for
avoid them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go the fastest route I can without hitting other Nas. I know that if there are rats, someone's going to find out about it. But once I hit the streets, I have a very good chance of getting away from any other Nas influence.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just popping open some rules for something real quick. You are left undisturbed for the entirety of the stroll. It doesn't take long, maybe another hour or two there and thereabouts, and you arrive around 4 a.m. to the building that is listed on the address that Dakota gave you. At this point, Crowley's not home. You head into the building, make your way to his door. I'm assuming the door would be locked, Crowley?
Would be.
It's in the very back of the first floor. It is locked.
I'll just turn and shear the handle. I'll shear through the metal if I don't know if I need to get the buttons, but
I'm assuming you're just gonna rip, just like chink, pull the handle down.
Yeah. So roll strength.
You look over your shoulder very quickly, make sure nobody's looking, and just with a push down, and you hear all the metals creak and then snap, and then the door handle just kind of comes off in your hand.
Oops.
And then you put your big foot into it, and it just creaks open enough where you're led into Crowley's little, I guess you could call it a haven. Crowley, what's it look like right now for you?
So there'd be a bed in one corner. There'd be an alarm clock, like an old-fashioned, like mechanical wind-up one. There'd be a little potted plant, like a bonsai tree, in one corner. Looks well cared for. There's a huge chest freezer, and there's a folded like metal gurney that's pushed against one side right now, along with a little makeshift kitchen, like a little burner, a little propane tank, and a few other things.
Is there anything that I could be able to use to restrain?
There would be some high quality like cord.
Okay, then I'll go for cord. I'll look for curtains or sheets, anything that I can.
Bed sheets.
There you go. You want to tie him down.
Yeah, I want to get him into a chair.
Okay. Like I said, it's pretty bare bones in here, but a metal folding chair, even if there wasn't one in here, going out and looking around maybe the maintenance area, you would eventually find one.
That's a little crappy chair. I have to eat food at a table.
And so you tie him to that chair to the best of your capabilities. What would tying a knot be? Athletics?
Dex athletics, or maybe like a dex larceny, like inversing
I
the
thought
larceny.
larceny too, and I was like, I don't know if larceny would make sense.
I mean,
I'm gonna go. Just give me a dex athletics roll for now, Mr. Hopkins.
Me, it would probably be dex medicine.
Dex medicine.
Yeah, I don't have anything in medicine whatsoever, so it's basic bindings, right? Like,
sure.
I'm doing a backflip.
I imagine you could use medicine if you wanted to, but I know like plenty of people who don't have any knowledge of medicine have knowledge of knots and stuff.
See, I was thinking this. Well, it's kind of academical.
Craft.
You didn't know craft. Oh, craft.
Okay.
Like,
also,
scout
something
craft.
else. I don't
Nothing.
have
No points in.
So
I'm gonna say just for now, because you're doing basic tying, just give me dex athletics.
All right. Sure. Yeah, at least I have points in that. 3 successes.
Then you tie him down to the best of your, like I said, capabilities. Tie his feet together. You tie his hands together behind his back, and his head lags to the side, resting on his shoulder, unconscious in front of you.
I'm going to quickly rifle through some drawers to see if he has anything that might resemble tape.
You can find some duct tape.
Okay.
Then
Then
used it to seal some drafty holes.
just enough to get it over his mouth. I'll even take care so that it doesn't hit his lips, and I'll kind of purse his lips down and put it over his face.
Okay. And so you do
it.
And you just wait for him to wake up?
Watch. Yeah.
Okay. How long, it's at the time of you arriving here, it's 3, 4, you're 2 or 3 hours out from the sunrise. Do you try to wake him up after a half hour, or do you just let it happen naturally?
I mean, to be fair, Ollie's probably just going to watch to see what his son's become, to see what he's seen the other Rowan, but to see this Rowan, to see the kind of life, how his life shaped him if he had stayed in this path.
Do you just really take him in, then you have minutes, hours maybe to
It'd be a first aid kit with some smelling salts, because I've got points in medicine, so I'd have a first aid kit with some.
But are you examining his tattoos? Are you really kind of just taking him in?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Maybe this is the first time we see Ollie allow him to drop his defenses, but only because not physical, but just emotional or mental defenses here. And now he has the opportunity to truly stare into the eyes of what is his son. While it's true that Ollie has a Rowan here in Chicago, the truth of what happened in Madison only is known to few. And now that he stares at what he believed to be the safe one, the one to get out of the city, and you recognize his face as even the one that lives in the East Village, there's great differences. Obviously, beyond the hair being cut, there's plenty of wounds all over his body. The scar on his face that we pointed out the first time. But now that you look at his tattoos, you can see some of the scars and the wounds happened post tattoos, and some happened pre. There's a giant scar across the left side of his chest that goes from upper shoulder right to about where his navel starts. And that scar clearly happened before the tattoos, as he's turned that scar into a representation of Jesus on the cross. And then there are wounds across other religious symbols that clearly happened post-tattoo. Most of the tattoo ripped away or scarred. He has a 5 o'clock shadow coming in. And beyond that, it truly is, as Dakota explained, all the tattoos on his body are religious imagery in some way. He breathes heavy. But beyond that, beyond the jeans that he's wearing, you stripped him of everything else, and he is a simple man.
Then, if more than 30 or so minutes pass by, I'll wet my hand down and I'll kind of like pat his face, like, hey.
You pat at it for a while, and after a few hard taps on his cheek to one that might even be arguably a true slap, you actually do hear him, and he begins to just gently rouse. His eyes slowly open to a squint.
A move.
And they blink very rapidly when he realizes that he is not exactly where he thought he was, and the confusion begins to dissipate off of his mind. He looks around, looks to you, but he doesn't say a word. Obviously, duct tape over his mouth, but he doesn't even try.
You're alive. You can't say a lot. It's been a long time. You recognize me. You know who I am. Were you looking for me? You can nod your head. It's fine. Were you looking for me? I can uncover your mouth. But there's a couple of things you gotta know. One, your tattoos and your mumbo jumbo and bullshit that you can pull or try to pull, it doesn't do anything to me. Two, you can be as loud as you want to be, and nobody else is gonna hear you. It's just you and me. I took anything that would even look like a weapon off of your person. I'm unarmed myself, but as you know, I'm a walking weapon. I don't need to be strong, and I don't need to flex. Neither do you. You came back to Chicago. I don't know why you're here. Because I did everything in my power to get you out. Everything. I broke every law. And I should be dead again. But I did everything. I lied to the only people that are supposed to care about me. So I could make sure that you had a chance. And I don't know what you become. But I've heard about what you've done. And I can only imagine that you've got your reasons. Fuck, we've got reasons for doing everything that we do. But I gotta know, rowboat. Why did it turn to this? Was it that woman? That old woman that I let you go with? I start to take a few steps to him.
Can you do? Then he continues staring at you.
Slowly, I'll move my hand up to the tape.
He watches, but locks eyes with you and just does not break.
And I start to pull the tape away.
Do you do it quickly? Do you do it slowly?
It's slow. I'm trying to make this as painless as possible.
So you slowly rip in. When it's about halfway, he'll actually pull his head the rest of the way to kind of speed up the process before he kind of loosens his jaw before he...
I'm sorry about that. You had a shotgun. If I would have just said hi, I imagine that wouldn't have been a super friendly meeting.
Do you want to keep telling me your sad fucking story?
No. I want to know yours.
I'm here to fix the mess you fucking started. Cared about any of the shit that said you would have walked into the sunlight the first day you gave me away. Make amends for your mistakes.
You think I had a choice?
You tell me you had no other choice.
No, I had no other choice. I was taken. Rowan.
You now, parasite. Feed off of the people in this city. People innocent, leading their lives. You latch onto them, draining them for everything they're worth. Money, blood, life. Yeah, you want me to sit here and say that's fucking okay?
How do you even know that's what I do?
Come on.
Whose bullshit are you parroting?
You gave me away. You fucking know who you gave me to.
You know what was going to happen to you if I hadn't done anything? Some other thing fuck was going to trade you away as a pawn. You were going to be
that. You want to know what would have fucking fixed that?
What would have fixed it?
You stayed dead the first time you died.
You can't remember anything, do you?
I remember fucking living my life.
Yeah?
You don't know what I fucking went through. You sat here in Chicago and built up your own, what? Parasitic network of people to feed on. Good for you. Meanwhile, I learned about your fucking kind. I learned what you do. I learned how you ruin humanity. For eons. And I'm going to sit here and say, oh, you were my dad once. Long ago. But you stopped being my dad the minute your blood stopped coursing through your veins, and that's when you became a parasite. Now tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Now tell me how.
Because you've learned wrong. Sure. Not everything you say is wrong. But the overall picture ain't as simple. It's not as black and white as you portray it.
So color in the lines.
I can work on it. Yeah.
10 years too late to teach me how to color. Pops. So just fucking do it.
I can't undo the last decade that you've been through.
And I wouldn't dare ask.
And I'm not here trying to pretend to be your dad. We may be of the same blood, but it's clear now that I'm not your father. Not your dad.
That was the very first thing I'd have made sure I learned.
Rowan, you gotta understand. The only other option was that you died.
Incorrect. The other option was you died.
I did.
Again.
I did. And what would that
The only
serve?
reason I'm in this fucking life is because you decided to continue living yours.
Look where you
Even
wound
when
up.
your natural end came.
Do you remember where you were at? You remember the orphanage?
Damn right, I was at the orphanage. Maybe I would have been adopted by somebody.
You would have been adopted by the Inquisition.
And also, your decision was better. Give her to the crazed old fucking hag. She'll keep him safe.
No, I
You
didn't
know how long she lived. You didn't even know how long she lived. You gave me to an old woman. You gave me to an old woman.
I thought that it wasn't necessarily that you were going to get out of it, but that you would at least have a better chance than sticking around Chicago.
You know what would have been a better fucking chance? And I will repeat it for the third time. Would you be walking into the sunlight and God, somebody in Chicago, somebody adopted me. A drug dealing family would have been better than what I have now, but I am grateful for what I have.
What do you have?
Purpose.
What do you really have?
Purpose.
You're tied down to a chair.
You're tied down.
To what?
Blood.
Just as much as you're tied down to a fucking sandwich. You need to eat and drink every day. Every day. Or you die.
I don't run the risk of killing someone when I eat.
Oh. Rowan, do you get mad at every single mosquito that comes into your life as well? Are you going to go out and just start being insect repellent?
If the mosquito's carrying a virus wiping out mankind, yeah.
Well, who did you learn this bullshit from? Who contorted your mind to make you think that this is the only way? That vampires are the natural enemy?
And do me a favor, Hopkins. Tell me a city where it's worked. Because LA don't exist no more.
Rowan, show me a city where people work in general. Show me a city
still standing.
Barely standing. This place barely stands, and it has nothing to do with vampires.
London will rebound.
You think that there are no vampires in London? I heard about that shit.
I'm saying there's a whole lot less.
They all come back. How many innocent people have you killed?
Less than the number of kindred I've killed.
You know how many innocent people I've killed? A whole lot fucking less than you.
You sure about that?
I'd put money on it. I'd wager my second life on it. Because I don't hurt innocent people.
No, you don't. But people will do it for you. Wouldn't they?
You can do just about anything with the right amount of money. How many humans hurt other humans just because they can?
And what do we
But
do?
I'm not here to
criminals?
preach morality. I'm just trying to parse the lines so you understand that it's not as simple as good guys versus bad guys, because everyone that's breathing or unbreathing that still blink and ebb in this world are bad fucking people. You aren't a good guy. You are no one's hero.
I'm not looking to be a hero. I'm just looking to make amends.
Make amends with what?
And tell me, dear old dad, when was the last time humans could reach beyond their own plane of existence and fuck that up too?
So what? You're mad that you didn't get the fast track to being a what? A superstar, a vampire? You upset? Are you jealous? Because there's nothing super exciting about it. And from the looks of things, the way that you've been through, the things that you've seen, you didn't exactly propel yourself to success either. Look at your fucking body. Look at what you became.
I became a tool of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
Yeah.
That's horse shit. You became someone else's pawn.
Is it? Or shit, do you want to measure that?
You don't even know the people that I help. You just simply mark it for the fact that I have to feed.
No, you're
I
kind
don't
of worse
hate.
than that.
I
You're
don't
everywhere. You're like a cancer.
The
You're in
cancer.
the government. You run the crime scenes.
And where are you?
You're on the streets drinking from innocent people who are just trying to enjoy their night. Everywhere people turn, your kind are there leeching off of them, using them.
So when do you blur the lines and you just
And
start
humanity gets to make their own choices again.
Nobody's
You-
fucking black and white like that, Rowan. It's not all clean and clear the way that you think it is.
But it was so clean and clear on your decisions on what to do with me, an 8-year-old boy. Give me your way or let me live here. The option to kill yourself and do me
The only
the
thing that you
favor
could
to
do
live
is
a
come
life.
through here and die. You would have come through here and died. A contingent, a plan, a pawn in someone else's game.
Dead
Just
because
like you are now.
I would be dead because of you. But if you were dead, would I be worth shit to them?
No,
No. So why didn't you go kill yourself?
because I didn't have a choice.
Because you cared more about you than you gave a shit about me.
Listen, you think it's that easy? You think it's that easy for me to just want to pull the trigger just because? Do you know what this thing inside me even commands me to do? That I fight against it every day.
And I'm
I
supposed
think
to
it's just
sit
as
here and
simple as
say,
walking outside and just staring into the fucking sunlight. It's not that simple.
what makes
I
it so hard?
battle
then?
a beast every day inside of myself when I see someone walking down the street, but I stop it. And the people that I feed from, I don't take it because I want it. I don't take it at all.
And so what? Because you have one good intentions, the rest of your kind do? Am I supposed to believe the majority fight this beast inside
I'm
of them?
not saying that everybody is good, Rowan. And I'm not saying that vampires are good fucking people because they're not.
All right, then if
Just
you
like the people that you've learned
fully
from.
fucking believe your own words, then bring me all the bad ones and I'll kill them for you. Show me you give a shit. Show me you're a good one. Bring me these bad ones. Let's clean up Chicago together, Dad. Father and son. Mr. Good Guy Vampire.
You're loose. Who's playing you? You said it yourself. You're a tool of the Lord.
Damn right.
But who spurned and sparked these lines into you?
Ida.
Ida. It was as simple as that. How long did she live? What was she, 140, 150? Literally farting dust. And you let some old crone teach you the way of the world?
Mostly because my dad abandoned me. Didn't have much of a choice.
Oh yeah, because it was that simple.
Well, at least you made a choice. I didn't get one.
I didn't get a choice either.
5 minutes ago you said you did. Which is it?
The options that were presented wasn't send Rowan to a good place or send Rowan to an okay place. I chose the lesser of evils.
Why'd you stay in Chicago? Why not take me and head somewhere else? Flee.
Because I knew too much, and they were going to hunt us down and kill us anyway. And what did you think a 9, 10-year-old boy would have just gone to school? Lived in a normal life? What's normal, Rowan? What would have been the new normal? Just take a step outside of yourself. Let's table this for a moment. What would have been the new normal?
If you weren't in the picture,
Or if I was in the picture the entire time?
I don't know.
Would you?
I don't pretend to know. But I'm
Gone
also
to
not going to
school?
sit here and pretend that you telling me there's a black and white option. But there's no black and white options, but your choices were black and white. That's a load of horse shit.
You keep preaching to the same thing of, if I would have died, your life would have been good.
You also try to tell me that your kind are not parasitic fucking Satan worshiping pieces of shit.
You're fucking parasitic. Look at the people that bred this violent bullshit upon you.
I am the tool of the Lord.
You're a sack of shit. Until you realize how far you fell, you're not going to swallow it. Get over yourself for a minute, kid. You're just a fucking kid. When was the first time that you thought for yourself?
Every single time I've took one of your kind's head off their shoulders.
Yeah?
Because if it wasn't for your kind, I wouldn't be leading this life in the first place, would I? He
Yeah,
begins to start mumbling to himself.
you would have. That orphanage. The Inquisition was raising the kids there, and you would have wound up in this lifestyle regardless. What, were they not there the entire time, Rowan? Did you not see men walking into the basement?
And it's as you said, the Lord chose me before I was even born. I was always to be his tool in his service, to clean his world of its filth, to
No, I'm gonna
remove the
tip his mouth.
parasites that...
I'm
And he
tipping his
begins... before you do, I need a willpower check from you.
Okay, so that's... Oh, Lord. So it's just 5d6?
If you hit the button willpower, it should just roll it
Yeah.
for you.
Can I reroll any of that?
You can't willpower, I don't think.
Nope.
Okay.
So, he begins to shout at you that he is a tool of the Lord. And you are just like, no. And you begin to walk over. And as you begin to move, you feel your legs become heavy, like they're cased in cement, wet cement, and it's drying very quickly. And there's a feeling of fear, true fear inside of you. And when you look at him, it's not his eyes that you're drawn to, but the giant scar across his chest, the one retrofitted to turn into an image of Jesus on the cross, bleeding. And as you lock eyes with that image, you can almost sense the sadness coming from Christ's face, emanating off of it. You try to take a step forward, but instead you take 2 very quick steps back. You try to fight the mind inside. You know that he's there, but as you look up, you don't see your son. You feel something so much more powerful, so much greater, unable to put to words. He continues to pray, and as you are pushed further and further back, this room is too small. You have to get the hell out of here. Whatever he's doing, it's scary. It's too much. The beast inside is not only trying to get out of the cage, it's trying to get out the back door. It's digging at a concrete wall, looking for dirt, just trying to find a place that blocks this guy's vision. So you quickly throw the door open and wheel around the corner and try to break away for a while. It isn't until you're about a block away from the building where Ollie can catch his breath. I need you to make me a terror frenzy as you're catching your breath.
And how do I roll that?
On the
Frenzy
sheet,
check.
there's a frenzy button.
Six successes.
As the beast is trying to urge you to go even further. That's a lot of fucking holy shit, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's crazy. Wait, why is it all hunger dice?
I have
Is that
no
how
idea.
it's supposed to be? That's weird.
You don't have hunger on it, so I'm not sure why, but
That's weird. Just as the beast is ready to grip hold of you and tell you to just push further, you're able to take a breath. Deep breath. Gather your senses. That's the second time that's happened to you. You remember that feeling once. The end of season 1. On the roof.
Not today, you ugly son of a bitch.
Do you just head back?
I am going to... I'm going to go in silent step, then invisible.
What's your hunger at?
2.
Ollie quickly disappears from sight and loses his any sound he has when he walks.
And I'll go back.
He's sitting there, not praying anymore. He's just sitting there, looking at the wall.
And then I'll slap that fucking tape right back on his mouth.
And whack! You just like, as you hit him and hit the tape, you catch him off guard, obviously by surprise. His head goes sideways. As he drags himself up, I squint on the side of the face that you hit him on, and he just kind of looks up at you, but doesn't say anything.
You could make decisions that weren't influenced by anyone other than yourself. Now you're of the disposition that we're all bad fucking people. You know how to find me. You've known about me. But you didn't come back here to settle a score with me. You're in Chicago for a reason. Let's not pretend. It didn't just have to be here to settle a score with dear old dad. But there are others here that know you now too. Others that recognize you because we all worked our asses off to get you out of here. You saw her, didn't you? The one with the dreads. The night when you killed that girl in the alley. She stuck her fingers in your chest. And she said, Rowan. Now I had to pretend like she was fucking crazy. Crazy because I made a deal with someone else so that I could guarantee your escape. Because I know the type of people that work around here. They're bigger, they're badder, and they're scarier than me. But you were just stuck, kid. Just like I was. And don't worry, I found out that I was also decided. I wasn't exactly drafted into this lifestyle. I didn't go to the Bulls. I was literally just picked. See, your grandma and your granddad, the same situation. They were pawns in this game as well. The thing is, they kind of chose it when I didn't have a choice.
And he starts fighting with the chair. Not getting
You
anywhere.
could walk away. Tool of the Lord. Bullshit. Take a sabbatical. Go breathe. Go sit in the sunlight. I can't. You could go sit on a beach. And you just look like a thug. I'm sure that you could find yourself a hot little mamacita. Have yourself some babies. Be the best kind of dad that you never had. And spit the venom and vitriol.
His face just gets beet red. You can see the vein in his forehead. How hungry are
You
you?
want this life? Is that what you want, Rowan?
He just continues to shout through the duct tape and wrestle with this chair.
Wouldn't that be ironic? If you became a kindred as well?
He continues to shout.
I wasn't offered a choice. You have a choice. You can walk. Either way, I'm going to tape your ass down so hard that you're not going to even have an opportunity to escape. And I'm going to wait for my friends. And when they get back here, we're going to make a decision.
Do you want to tape him down so that he won't be able to get out during the daylight hours, presumably?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to keep him here with this door where it's busted? The busted door now?
Crowley's got to come back. And if Crowley doesn't immediately come back, Dakota knows that I'm here as well. I'm guessing
Crowley
that
would
daylight
arrive
today.
at on this night like 20 minutes before sunrise. He's had a very fucking busy night.
Then I'm going to wait it out until he gets there. And I'll run out all of his duct tape.
So you just really put him down.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get can I get Dex Athletics, but you can take a +2 as well on top of it for just the excessive amount of duct tape you want to pin him to the
That's
floor
right.
with?
+2 from duct tape.
Bonus, excessive duct tape.
Wait, that didn't...
It's not a bestial critical or anything.
That's weird. That didn't roll right. I don't think. It's 5, 6. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, then 2 successes.
Okay, so he's in the chair, and I imagine you kind of just tip the chair back, roll him off of it, and just
Yep.
over and over and over across all his bodies from his shoulders down to his you get to about his knees before you run out of tape, but his feet are tied together still from before as well. Crowley only has like half a roll left. Like, there's a lot as you look around. You like you said, you see a lot of like little pieces of duct tape patched up on random areas. By the time you finish duct taping him up, you can hear footsteps in the hallway. As you look at the time, it's almost 5 a.m. Yeah. Crowley, the door. As you approach your door, you realize your door handle is missing completely, and the door is creaked open.
Fucking hell, I
taped-
knew it was a shitty neighborhood, but
Where
stealing the
between-
fucking door handles.
You hear that Crowley? I mean Ollie on the outside.
I'll kind of walk around the corner with my arms crossed.
I've got a shopping bag in one hand. Walk in like, Well, what are you doing here? Right.
Where's Dakota?
On a boat, I think.
Well, hope you're ready to take a nap. We're gonna be cuddle buddies.
Okay. Not that I'm not thrilled, but...
Crowley, come meet my son.
Oh. Right.
Rowan. This is Crowley. Crowley. Rowan.
He keeps his eyes. He actually has his eyes closed, and he looks like he's just keeping to himself and just.
He's mad. He's got some daddy issues.
Don't we all? Nice to meet you, Rowan. I'm sorry I can't shake your hand. You're a little tied up round now. Come on, that was funny.
It was. He's versed in biblical information.
Oh, I can see that with the...
Can't duct tape.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Oh.
You just see his head and jeans with feet hanging out that are tied together.
I go up to
If you remove it from his mouth, he will recite the verses. I'm sure that you're used to it. You know what it's like to have the beast inside you kind of push you away out of fear?
Actually, I never have.
Well,
the beast pushing me away, sure, but I've never actually had someone do the faith thing.
he's got it.
Ah. You don't strike me as a religious type.
At one point, I probably was, but I didn't exactly have a choice in the matters. So, he's a bit tied up.
Bag
Son,
down, gets
put
a
to
few
the corner.
things, gets a beer, just immediately cracks it. Right, so, what do you need from me?
Right now, a place to rest. I'm not going to make it back.
No problem.
And then we wait. Hopefully we have a way to get a hold of Dakota and Ava. Because I have some things to explain. I have my own cats coming out of the bag, metaphorically.
Right. Well, you're a member of my Coterie, and he's your son. Easy enough said. Now, I do need to cook something before I go to, bed. I can do it in the morning if you want. Looks like you used all the duct tape.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't need that to cook.
No.
I'll get you more. I know a guy.
Can you get me a door handle while you're out?
Yeah, I'll get it tomorrow.
Thank you. Some bugger nicked it.
Oh yeah, some real big fella. Got a problem with it.
People
Are you gonna-
door handles.
Carly, you gonna eat tonight?
I'll eat tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I want to give Ollie a chance to talk more if he wants, rather than being distracted with, hacking off a slice of human. I will, however, suppress my hunger and just try and focus inwardly.
This is definite turning in point.
Yep.
Ollie doesn't
And
have
so-
anything to say at the moment.
And the daylight hours are almost here. You can feel your body begin to give you the signs of what is considered tiredness in Kindred, though it doesn't really feel as such. Just more of a drained of energy. You need to let the blood and the vitae recharge. And so as the sun rises, and you dissipate for the day and just kind of close your eyes, and when you open them again, it'll be night. Carly still has about an hour to himself.
I'm going to pretend to go to bed. I'm going to lie on top of the freezer, and I'm going to pretend to go to bed, and then see if Rowan tries to book it.
Okay. How long do you give that hour?
That hour, yeah.
Okay. There is an attempt. However, he is heavily penalized.
As soon as he tries to, make a proper attempt, I'll go,
I need you to make me a wits awareness, though,
Okay.
to see it. Because he's not going to be straight. He's going to try, with just his fingers very
Yeah.
quietly, but he doesn't get much here. He doesn't get any successes.
wits, awareness, plus all specs. Six.
And you can see he's not making a lot of movements, but you can see his left hand is clearly come at least not necessarily come loose, but loosened itself underneath the tape, and there's gentle movements happening, but no progress seems to be being made.
Oi, kid.
His hand stops moving, but his eyes don't open.
Just, don't bother. Not worth it. I open one eye and look over at him.
His eyes are still closed, and he's still not moving.
You're really good at that. But your dad obviously wants to talk to you. And family's important. And I know you've already got some daddy issues, as your dad said. And I ain't gonna get in the way of your familial relationship. Each family's different, but give it a fucking break. You only get one family. Yeah. No offense, but I'm not gonna take the tape off. That's for your dad to do. I ain't gonna get in the way. Sorry, that it's a bit unfair for it to be a one-sided conversation, but...
And eventually the hour passes, and you too fall asleep. He gets one more attempt with just 2d10. Not gonna make a difference, I don't think.
Double tens. Fuck.
That'd be great. No. Damn it. And that's it. That's his 2 attempts. And so he stays there for the entirety of the day, not moving whatsoever. However,
Layla doesn't find this.
No. You have neighbors. And I'm curious if Rowan was to make a lot of noise, if any of the neighbors would care enough to come check.
It's mostly shitty,
Oh, I know.
drug
I'm aware.
dealer
It's
hangout,
not
so
happy
maybe,
people.
but,
It's
yeah.
it's purely out of curiosity if they decide to come because the door is not able to be shut.
Yeah, they
that
might
was-
just see the door being unlocked, and just even without Rowan, they might just wander in. They're shitty people.
Yeah, I need to make a couple of rolls real quick. Just quick. 2 rolls. 5d10 and 3d10. Okay. You wake up with him still there. Everybody rouse check.
I wake an hour early, then I'll just start making food. I turn his chair so he can't see me making food, though.
I was under the impression that he was taped to the floor.
Oh, shit. I will move my little Bunsen burner and propane tank to the other side of the room, and I will carve meat out of his line of sight.
Just desperately trying not to get seen as he does that.
Yeah, I don't want to, be not only do we drink blood, but we also eat people. Enjoy.
Do you just other than cooking and eating, obviously, do you just wait the hour for Ollie to wake up and stuff?
Yeah, I'll sit there, I'll once I've cooked and made it into beef burger or mince or whatever, I'll eat it in front of him.
It's extremely raw. It's just seared on each side because you still need the rawness in the middle, but it looks like a raw burger.
Yeah.
It just looks like a raw cooked
It's
burger.
fine. I just cook it raw. It's fine. It's exactly what I want.
You just sear the other side so it looks cooked. That's all.
Mix it with some
and
and it
nice smells really good. I mean, it smells like pork, really.
Yeah.
We're the closest to pork, I think, is what we've right. That's we're 98% close to pork or whatever.
It's
so
pork, maybe veal, depending on who you ask. Mostly pork.
Yeah, blue steak. Yeah, I used to have people order blue steak when I used to work at restaurants every so often. It was really weird. Ollie, and eventually your eyes will snap open, and as always, when you close your eyes, it feels like no time has passed whatsoever. Left to darkness, greeted in darkness, but you wake up to the smells of cooking meat and Rowan still taped to the floor.
You sleep all right, kid?
No response.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Are you eating? Like you actually eating food?
Oh yeah, I'm hungry.
Like I thought it was all a show.
There are certain things that connect us to who we were and life and being mortal. I like to remind myself of that. Plus, it's good
You
cut
don't-
meat.
You don't get sick afterwards.
Oh, yeah, like I have to throw up before the night's over. There's a lovely grate outside I use. There's also a bucket under the bed.
Mm.
It just, the old asshole doesn't work the same as it used to.
Yeah, I learned that pretty quickly. Like I remember some of the pleasantries of that life. That's why I still cook.
Obviously there's all the obvious things. Eating, drinking, sex, all the things you used to enjoy. One weird one, though. Do you ever remember that feeling of really needing to pee? And then taking a leak? And then that just being the most, for that moment, was the most...
The morning piss.
Relaxing. Yeah.
It was great.
I miss that.
I miss that too. You never think you would miss that kind of thing until it's gone.
Well,
Damn, I really wish I could pee.
peeing, sex, drink, family.
I haven't had sex in a long time.
Well, my sisters used to make a point of it.
Of sex?
Yeah,
There's some... Whoa, hold on.
not
Crowley,
in that way.
whoa.
This ain't some
What?
weird fetish site or something.
We'll continue then. I was a little
Look,
confused.
They have a very strong policy of maintaining certain things, and one of those is, sex, etc.
Sex, etc. That sounds like a TV show.
I'd watch it. Don't get cable down here, though.
All right. Well, forgive me if I'm not going to be super exciting. I'm going to wait until we hear from Dakota. This was a little interesting for her.
Dakota, as the next night arrives, what is it that you do?
Oh God.
And where's Ava? Where did you spend the night?
I
can't
this
remember.
is timey-wimey. I was with Camille,
Yes.
and then
But we're gonna now it's the day. It's the day following all of those events. We'll say.
So
Where
The
did
day
we
after the
leave
boat
you
trip.
last week?
after the boat trip, after the Chinatown,
After Chinatown, where did you all end up going? I imagine Dakota went to Northerly Isle to her boat. Crowley went to his place where he's with Ollie. Where did Ava go? Did you go to the septic tank? Crowley's place
Yeah.
is also an option, but you wouldn't have had time to get there before the sun came up.
yeah, I would have went to Zach's.
Okay, so we'll start with we'll start with Ava. Ava, where do you end up going then? As the night begins, and you're surrounded by the dried blood scribblings of a once great, intelligent madman. Memories of a time where you had more respect and power in this city, and also the reasons you lost it all. Where does Ava go?
I think
Anywhere?
my first thought would to be after everything that happened. Either probably Crowley actually, because Dakota.
Everybody's
I know
going to head
had-
to Crowley's place. Is basically
Yeah.
what it's going to end up being. So,
I'm just trying to think. Yeah,
as Crowley and Ollie are chatting, you can actually hear high-heeled footsteps on tiled floor before, as the door opens, Ava's greeted. But before there's even words that can be spoken, there's also the heavy steel-toed boot steps of Dakota following in suit. Probably Dakota actually saw Ava down the street, both heading to the same spot. There was maybe even some acknowledgement, if any, before you two joined the room. And now there are 5 bodies in a very tiny room. Dakota, as you walk in, you see, as Ava does, Ava, you see this man you do not recognize, duct taped to the floor. Meanwhile, Dakota, you see a man you recognize, duct taped to the floor.
I'm sorry for
creaks
the
open.
crowded nature of my abode today.
Ava. Dakota.
It's been, we'll say, just for convenience and timeline's sake, it's been 2 nights, Ollie, since you've seen them.
This is Rowan Hopkins. My actual son.
His eyes actually open as people have entered, and he just looks each one of you in the eye very slowly. His eyes linger on Dakota for a little longer than most.
Dakota, you remember him? You
Yeah.
spotted him. You were the one that let me know.
Yeah.
So, I have some explaining. Because I imagine there's some questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions. This is not the Rowan I know.
Now, the Rowan you know is very much alive. But he's not the same. 10 years ago in Madison, we went out there for that job. It was a job. We went out because of Mark. Shut up. Speak when you're spoken to.
I'd like to go over and sit in his. Oh wait, he's tied to the floor. He's not in a chair anymore.
He's taped to the floor. He's taped.
Great. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna straddle him, and I'm gonna look
You
at him.
do.
I'm gonna say, "It's rude to interrupt somebody when they're speaking." Ollie.
His true faith. He had me run out the building. Second time I frenzied. Out of fear. Now back to what I was saying. Madison, 10 years ago. Mark. Ava, you said it yourself. You saw a woman and a boy. Right? That woman, that boy, this is Rowan, and that woman was the one that took off with him. When you were doing whatever you were doing with Mark, and I found out that Saito was there, do you remember that kid from the woods, the one that threatened us? The boy, I can't remember his name. Marcus, Matthew, something.
Matthew.
Matthew met me in the woods, and he demanded that I leave. He told me to take my whole group of fuckers and get out. And I said that I couldn't because I was there. Because Big Brother determined that I had to be there, and if I didn't succeed, that they would be back in droves. And he said, what would it take? That we finished our job, which was to get Mark and get out. And I told him that I would do that I would get out. But that I was there for my son. That I didn't give a shit about Mark. And that's when something happened. Whatever you guys did, whatever Zach did, you interrupted things. You broke something. And Matthew knew immediately. And he made me run with him. I ran with him. And he told me that if I wanted my son out, the only thing that I could do is let my son escape with that old woman. That was the only thing that I was offered. Either to take Rowan back to Big Brother authority, let him be a pawn for whatever fairy bullshit is out there in Madison, or he escapes with that old woman. On the condition that I had to kill someone. Someones. Multiple someones, whomever showed up. And he led me out into the sticks, and he whistled into the wind, and I waited. And a woman appeared. He told me that the only way that he would do this is if I killed them. And I did, without remorse. I struck her so fast she didn't even know what hit her. And where she laid and bled out, her body turned to sticks, dirt, and leaves. There was no more blood. She was just sticks, dirt, and leaves. And Matthew said that he has no idea what my son's life would be like, but he would get out. And I told him that I needed something, proof. I needed proof of Rowan's return. So he had me gather sticks, dirt, and leaves. And he did some hoodoo voodoo bullshit where he said that he took a part of Rowan, this one, to make that one. So that the Rowan that I came back with, he looked and he felt and he passed just like my son. But that my boy actually had a chance out there in the living world. And Matthew was wrong. Because that woman, he said that woman is who taught him the way of the Lord to be a tool of God. And that's why he's back in Chicago. He has a score to settle. He has a bone to pick with someone. It could be me. Could be. Likely. You'll have your chance to talk in a minute. And I'm sure that you can spout and yell. Yeah, whatever. But he's here. And he's killing kindred. And he has said multiple times how much better his life would be if I was just dead. So my guess is he's just here to kill me. And anyone else that he can get his hands on. Because he's bloodthirsty as fuck. Unless I'm wrong and I'm misrepresenting you. In which case, I can strip this tape off and give you a chance to talk, but the moment it even sounds like biblical bullshit, the tape is going back on. So I'm sorry. Ava, Dakota, I'm sorry. I held up this charade for a decade because I thought that Rowan got out. I thought that he was freed, and I didn't open my mouth about anything. I didn't say a damn thing. Not even Zach knew. Up until the very end. And at that point, well, we know how that went. So there, you got my deepest, darkest secret. One that I haven't told the prince, or the sheriff, or anyone else. I haven't told Snitch. I haven't told Rudy. It was just me, Matthew, this Rowan, and that old woman.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to process this. This Rowan, I can't believe he turned out to be the thing that we hate the most.
I don't hate him for this.
He kills our kind.
And they kill us. And everybody kills everybody. Who killed Zach? Did we just hate kindred because of that? Because I don't think it was just Dakota. Zach killed himself because of some bullshit that he knew. Because we're all wrapped up in this.
I turn on the kettle.
Well, what does he have to say for himself?
I want to hear what Dakota has to say first. I'm sorry. Be mad at me. Strike me down. I lied to you.
It's okay. Everybody lies, right?
No. No, I've not lied to you since about anything. I've been real forward and upfront because that's the life that I want to live. But now,
I swear to God, if you don't stop snorting like a fucking pig, I'm gonna gut you like one. Fuck you! I'm on top, motherfucker.
I get the Juve and I just put it on his face.
Ollie, your son's a shithead.
hey, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. A different life. Well, maybe if he was adopted. And that's just with me. The only bones he has to pick with you is that each of you are kindred. And he would go to the ends of the earth to make sure that you see true death in sunlight. Yada, yada, yada. All that bullshit that we've heard a million times over.
Ugh. So what are we gonna do with him?
Give him a cup of tea.
Ugh.
He's
Like you
dangerous.
We can listen to what he says.
Is
Everything
he gonna
that
say
Ollie,
anything honest and true? Or is he just gonna fucking lie to us and manipulate us and spout biblical nonsense?
Well, luckily, we can just put the tape back on.
Yes, I want to hear what he has to say. He's your son. You're his father. Do you have any remorse for your father? I look at him.
He doesn't know what we
Duvet over his face.
Oh yeah,
I
he does.
take the duvet off now since we're getting to the him stage. I'm just going to
Doesn't
crouch
talk
down
to you.
real close to him. I'm just going to
There's
say,
no idea.
look, mate, we're all going to talk to you, and that means you get to talk back, right? And then if you're going to start spouting off, the tape's just going to go back on. If you want a chance at escaping, you're going to need your strength up. So you're going to need to drink, and you're going to need to eat. Now, you'll need your tape off to do that. So you might want to just not spout off for a bit, so you get a chance to talk, drink, and eat, and then you get a chance at breaking out later. If you don't eat and drink, well, you're kind of fucked, aren't you? So try and save the blabbermouth for later, mate.
I'd like to rip the tape off.
You do. Fuck you. He spits at you.
Are you done? Well, chat, little one.
And what do you want to know?
Do you want milk or sugar?
Before I let you walk into that swirling mass of escape with Matthew, which you know, Matthew.
Yeah, I know Matthew.
And Matthew and I have been writing this last decade.
Good for you.
Matthew saw that as the best escape for you. Did you trust Matthew?
I don't trust anyone. I trust in God. Mr.
Boring.
Mumbo jumbo bullshit. You went running out of here like a little fucking girl, though, didn't you? The minute I started even talking about him.
In my world, little girls are scary.
Boo.
Believe in it now.
No, I don't. I don't, but the thing in me does. And trust, just because I'm dead or unliving, whatever you have painted this internal narrative, doesn't mean that I'm devoid of feeling. Because if I was just this mindless monster that you paint me to be, man, you're a real big fucking snack. But I'm not exactly chowing down. I don't want you to think for a moment that I care. Because it's clear that you don't think that. But I don't want to see you dead. I've never wanted to see you dead. And I definitely don't want to see you in this life that you're in now. Because if it's not me that sees you die, you're going to go under the command of someone else. Because I'm not the only person looking for you, Rowan. The Inquisition are looking for you. Other kindred are looking for you.
Then they better be fucking afraid.
They...
Unless you kill me here, I'm not leaving this city.
And what do you do when you find something that's worse than us?
Kill it.
I think it's that easy.
It's been that easy so far.
We could just drop you off in the park.
I was gonna say, you just met your stopping point now. Us.
Kill me. You think I'm the only one?
What would that serve? No. No, we realize that you don't work alone. You're not that bright. Because if you've been thinking for yourself, you would have done things a little differently. Now someone is barking orders.
I actually think this little shit works alone. He talks a big fucking game. But if everybody's looking for you,
then I
then
must
you
be
don't
doing
have
a good job.
anybody on your side.
Why don't you kill me and see if anybody comes looking?
Because then that gives you exactly what you want. So that you can sit on some fucking high cloud
I lost
with your
what I
god
wanted.
and your... Did you?
When my dad gave me away.
Your father.
He preaches about no such thing as black and white choices. But that night he had black or white. Funny how it works for him that way.
Says
for
the
me.
child that was living inside an Inquisition home. See, if we had left you, you wouldn't have ended up charred meat like the rest of those kids.
He genuinely does not seem to register what the hell you're talking about.
So see, you think you know so fucking much, but you don't know anything.
I know two things. That God is great and
Cover
almighty.
it now.
And that you...
Whoop! Hands over,
Yep, and
hands
that
over his
you-
mouth. So, I look at all them. It doesn't seem like he fears death, which is fine because there are much worse things than death.
So what do I do? Do I give him what he wants and end his life here early? Do I take him to the prince and cover up my misdeeds? Give him a real punishment.
I mean, if you want to let him go, I'd be happy to run him down. He's just my type, Ollie. Asshole. Or we could do something. And I reach over, I grab a piece of duct tape and put it back over his mouth.
Oh,
And I
you
was
already
like,
had. I thought you already tapped.
Yeah.
oh, I thought I was using my hands. Perfect.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood. I thought it was
let's
tape.
powwow outside for a minute. Does anybody mind?
Can I ask him a question?
Oh, Crowley.
Go on.
Mind?
Question?
Clearly, we're spilling beans, so.
Take the duct tape off his lips carefully.
Oh, fuck.
Right. Just wondering, why Chicago? Is it just because you grew up here, your dad?
He just looks at you.
Look, are you looking to take out the worst of the kindred, the ones who were bastards, bloodsuckers, murder people, etc.?
Crowley, stop fucking talking. Crowley.
No, I want to know.
I am not discriminatory. You all turn to the same thing eventually.
Perfect. No, tape.
I could drive him up to New York for you.
No powwow in the hallway.
Coterie said he'd come back.
Well, eventually.
You all, as you're chatting, like you started to come back, but you're all like marching out of the room and heading into the hallway.
Yeah.
There is some leverage we could.
Use him as bait or for information.
There are ways of getting what you
He
want.
is just human. There's plenty of things we can do.
Ollie. I could go in there and beat it out of him. Ava could go in there and charm it out of him.
Rowan's been beat his whole life. When you take that tape off and you see his body, it's far worse than anything that...
Then we have to do what he fears the most. We could
Take
ghoul him.
Yeah, take his God away from him.
The only thing he cares about.
Ollie, this boy, he's still your flesh and blood, even though it's different now. But he seems so far gone. Ultimately, you have to be okay with this.
I don't want to see him hurt. We all go through shit. Life shapes you, but you can change. I said that 10 years ago, Ava, you remember. That's the whole reason that I carried that shit with me for so long, because I think kids can change.
Do you think he can change how he is right now?
I think he's gonna die if he stays on this path. He's getting too close. What do you think is gonna happen when the sheriff gets wind of this? It's no holds barred. He's gonna take out that fancy fucking sword he carries around on his back and it's gone. He's done.
He's absolutely dead. I don't want to see him die either. I don't think he understands what he's in right now. I don't think he understands how deep he's into this, and I don't know if just us like this are going to do anything to help him. We need something stronger.
Short of ghouling him or turning him. I have no idea. I don't even really understand how ghouling works. I didn't get that long with your mom, and Grant is the only other person I've ghouled.
Just so everybody in here knows, there's no real understanding as to how ghouling works. Simply the power of the blood is beyond anything you really truly know.
I feel like if we ghoul him, he'll just want to end his life on his own.
I don't know, he's got true faith, he can probably fight it.
Or that.
And
Here's the thing.
Fights it one time. That's enough.
Ava and Ollie can't ghoul him. You have a ghoul. You're not strong enough in the blood to ghoul him right now. You can only have one regent.
Oh yeah, I have a ghoul. I just can't.
Crowley and Dakota are the only ones who would be able to if that's what you wanted. Because Grant is yours.
Got another option? I'm not a massive fan of fucking with people like that. He's still your flesh and blood, even if he is an asshole. There's no place where people can get forgotten. US judicial system.
Away. Sorry. If Ava doesn't have a ghoul anymore, for some reason I thought she did.
I don't know if they just took him away, if he's still alive. I don't know what the deal is with that.
We'll talk privately.
Yeah.
For right now, even if they took it away, for right now, you're not sure if the blood is still lingering in his veins or not anyway. So you wouldn't know.
Just somehow get him into a prison. We'll get forgotten there. You're more humane than bring him into this life.
Can't stay here. You got neighbors. He's gonna wise up at some point. You're gonna start yelling. They'll end up calling the police. Even if it's a shitty neighborhood, they'll come out. This is the last thing that I need here. And I appreciate you letting me stay the night. Especially with him here. I'm grateful.
What friends do.
Don't go tossing that word around too lightly just yet, all right? It's close. This is an emotional moment for me.
Alright, fair enough.
What if we tried... No, it's not going to work. We tried to cut some sort of deal with him.
I have an idea. I need I need an out for a friend. A cover, I guess you could say. Crowley's idea of him going to jail may not be the craziest one he's pitched. I could arrange that.
Oh, I don't even think that's going to work. In fact, that, while it might seem good on the surface, we already know how the SI work. The Inquisition are everywhere. They probably got the lines tapped. You get a big motherfucker like this in there, tattooed up with Jesus on his body, talking about the righteous path.
About the talking thing, there's another way to deal with that as well.
He'll get picked up by SI. And we already know they're looking for him. Remember, Mr. Pink.
True.
I don't suppose you happen to have a friendly venture in your pocket who might be able to do some, like, just, make him forget a few things? Not a fan of it, but compared to the rest of the things you're suggesting.
Maybe.
I could put him in prison.
What prison? Where?
I don't know.
You know there are cells underneath the ivory tower that's used by the sheriff and whatnot, and you've put people in there before. But when they usually just are awaiting trial.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about framing the murder Dakota did on him.
Mm-hmm.
I need a trading chip.
I mean, yeah.
How do I have access to those cells without, like...
I mean, you could get down there, but you wouldn't be people would see you going down. You have access to them. You could go down there, but kindred or personal security at the very least would see you, and there'd be, you'd be seen.
I mean, and we could always just take his tongue. Won't be the first time I've cut it out of a man's mouth.
What's your long-term play?
These are all questions for Ollie. I'm simply giving a laundry list of possible solutions. If he can't speak, he can't spout his religious bullshit.
I could call in a favor. I have this, I kind of like rifle through my pocket. I was given this a couple of nights ago. I kept it on me. I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with it. It's a small, like little bird. I think it's a bird.
A bird. Yes, I recognize it.
I don't even know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with it, to be honest. But she said I would figure it out.
Who is she?
Camille.
Is there any way of contacting her?
She said I would figure it out.
Yeah, it would be, if you're looking for a role, a simple wits awareness.
Sure. Then I will do that.
Mind if I have a look as well?
Yeah.
I mean, I might know it.
Ollie, with one success is all you need. You kind of fiddle with it, and it's very easily for you to figure out as you're messing with it. The beak itself actually pushes in, and then the bottom and top actually have a hole that pops out, and it turns into what is clearly a whistle.
A whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Like as in, get out of the pool, kid. Whistle, like same kind of whistle.
Yeah, it turns to a whistle. In the center, the body itself is like, as you've pressed the beacon, you realize as the holes come out, it's actually hollowed out and can fit, like it could fit something small in there.
I honestly thought it was going to be more complicated than that.
Do you want to use the whistle and see what happens, or do you just kind of like look at it?
Look at I do it.
Okay. You blow the whistle, and it's very, very high pitched. You can hear it, but only so very, very barely. A few minutes pass before you all hear what sounds like the fluttering of wings out from the front door. As you go out there, there's 3 pigeons that have landed on the stoop, and they're just like, whoop,
right.
Whoop,
That's smart.
Got it.
But now that they just sit there.
I blow again, and I'll hold my arm out.
They all flutter out, and then one will fly up onto your arm.
So Camille has carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons.
It doesn't take long for the 4 to figure out. You could put like a little note in the little pewter bird that you have and tie it to their leg.
And send
they
it
would
off
take
to
it off.
Camille.
Ah, low tech. No wonder it's hard to trace her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I hear the bird is the word these days.
That was bad, so bad.
Look, I had to catch up on a lot of memes from when I was awkward.
The fuck is a meme?
I was hoping it would have said Mimi.
Mimi.
I had to catch up on a lot of memes. Look,
Oh man.
I got as far as ceiling cat, right? Bird is the word. Ceiling cat I got to see.
Wait till he
Do we
learns about
want-
planking.
All right.
Do we want
What do
to?
we even say? You know what do I say to Camille at this point?
We need your dominate powers or powers to. Do we really want to do this? Is my question.
I mean, how much of it would you be wanting to rewrite? Like, because you'll just come back here if you just rewrite the last couple of days, right?
Yeah, we would have to rewrite his whole life. I don't think that's even possible.
It is. It just requires likely multiple nights and a lot of food. And who knows what kind of broken man he might become after rewriting literally. No, there'd really be no way. She could, but it would have to be broad stroke memories.
Yeah.
Like, just like, here's what happened the first year, and here's what happened the
anytime he
second
thinks,
year.
hey, what happened on my 21st birthday? It's
Yeah,
gonna be like,
it's really easy for it to break.
Okay,
like,
okay.
it is possible, but it would be a lot of work and detail that
maybe
they
we're
don't.
making this too complicated. It sounds like he's part of a cult, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we just need to find like an actual cult deprogrammer person. You know, they exist. Psychologists who specialize in deprogram people. He's just
Like,
drunk the Kool-Aid.
hypnotize them?
Well, I don't know. They might do that. But I know they exist. There was a documentary on it.
Okay, so I know that Kindred tend to find and profile people of import. Is it likely that there is a Kindred that is capable of doing something like that?
Of what? Which of
Like
the two?
Deprogramming.
Deprogramming out of a cult? You'd have to reach out. Nothing that comes off the top of your mind, but you have contacts, and if you put up feelers like, I'm looking for a kindred who can maybe help me deprogram or something, you can wait a few nights, you might be able to get an answer, but not that come off the top of your
It
head.
might not even need to be a kindred. Because think about it, right? You get like some of these deprogrammers who like they deprogram like celebrities' daughters who've run away and joined a cult because, daddy issues or whatever. And they talk a whole load of shit, and they do it like really, subtly behind the scenes and so on, right? They're reliable. I mean, you need a lot of money if you can get one of them. But I'm sure if he goes, oh, there are vampires and I'm part of a cult trying to kill them and save people, etc., I'm sure they won't say anything. That would just be another cult, right?
This is going way deep. I don't think.
I say we cut his tongue out, and then
He can
Get
still
rid of him.
talk. He can still communicate, even if we remove his main form of communication.
yes, but at least he can't spout religious bullshit at us and make us run.
None
Then
of
we
you
can
have any
lock him up.
idea if the words actually matter.
Also true, but go with what you know.
No, I just want to make that, like, Dakota would think that as well. Like, it's not something, because if it was as easy as removing tongues, then I feel like that would be the first thing anybody ever does to like a second ink.
Then why don't we play good cop, bad cop? Threaten to ghoul him and take everything he loves till he tells us
I'm
what we
gonna
want
see
to know.
if I can get something out of him through my senses.
You want some time with him. But you have abilities. He is mortal after all. Sometimes just honeyed words is all it takes. But why don't we think about it? This is a perfect time to take a moment. We'll break off camera, start weighing some ideas, and then when we come back, we can go from here.
Right, well, we're going to go to an 8-minute break. Please enjoy the fan art, and we'll be back shortly with will or will we not fuck up Ollie's child?
Too late.
Definitely not too
True.
late. Hello and welcome back to Them and Masquerade, Sounds of Shadows, 6th edition. So, take it away, Mathis.
Take it away, the four of you. You all find yourselves, pigeons by the front door, and it's still early in the night, so you're chattering, but there's pedestrians walking by, usually paying no mind to you. It's no one really particularly cares, and you're not talking about anything super weird, just for a passerby in this part of town to hear anyway. But you're all debating. He sits in the other room, or I should say he's lying down in the other room. And the four of you feel like you have many different things you could do. Where does the conversation go from here?
Ollie, we don't have to kill him.
No, it's
what if
not
we
on the table.
What if we let him go? What if we let him walk? One, show him that you're not the monster he thinks you are, and two, fucking mess his plans up. He wants to fucking die taped to that floor at my hands. I can feel it. Don't give him what he wants. Let's see where he goes and what he does. We'll black bag him, load him up in the back of Crowley's van, take him to the other side of Chicago, and drop him. Let him walk back and have to think about it.
I think this is a good option, actually.
I think it's a shitty option, but it's the best we got.
What if we took him to Pink?
I don't.
They're already looking for him.
And we add another to the army against us.
What's one more to an army?
You know what they'll do to him.
No worse than has already been done to him, right?
Yeah, but you want more done to him?
I don't know. I don't know what I want. I just don't want to see him die.
Then let's give him a chance to live. Because here's the thing, he goes with Pink. He's trained. You really think he's not coming back for us? That you're not eventually going to have to look your son in the face and kill him? Giving him to Pink is an easy way to make that happen. Maybe a longer option, but it will be the end result. I don't trust this Pink character.
I don't either.
And why hand your son over to him? You don't owe him anything.
Pink or Rowan?
Both. Which is why we need to keep Rowan out of our lives, and we need to keep Pink out of our lives.
Okay, I think I'm missing a few things.
Oh, Crowley, you're always missing something.
Well, as we said earlier, I am new here. I don't know half the names we're talking about, but this Miss Pink seems to be important.
Ollie?
Pink is SI. He wanted to cut a deal with me. He's looking for Rowan as well.
Okay.
That's why I said we're not the only people that were looking for him.
And so they're going to train him and then he'll come back and be more trained.
He's going to be here regardless. So, it begs the question, do we hand deliver in hopes that we can try to push or pull weight with SI even though that's bound to fail us? Or do we let him go, in which he's going to be found by SI anyway? Born of the kindred.
We don't know he's going to be found by SI. If they're coming to you, begging you to hand him over, they have no fucking clue where he is.
Well, they're going to find him eventually. Someone will. If it's not
Someone
them, it'll be, in our kindred who probably will kill him.
We can't control the actions of others.
Dakota, I'm not asking you as a friend right now. I'm asking you as a hound. If we let him go, and he kills more kindred, whose shoulders does that fall on?
If we hand him over to the SI, it's no better. I'm supposed to hand over a recruit to the SI?
Maybe we can get them to agree to take him somewhere nasty. Where there's a load of eagle buggers.
He seems to think that they're all here.
Or more evil buggers.
Yeah, I don't know any place like that. I'm pretty much bound to Chicago.
I mean, take him to New York and fuck up some Sabbat. Or Mathis. Where would I know has the most percentage of Sabbat?
Out of where you've been? Yeah, New York's not a bad call.
Or even places I know of.
I mean, you've only been in two places, really.
Yeah.
And London, certainly, you have no idea how that place is this very moment.
Yep.
New York's your best call. Out of the other places you know, yeah, New York. New York is more of a war zone than Chicago by far.
Wait, he said that there were no kindred in London.
He didn't say there were no kindred. He just said London's already fallen.
Oh, yeah. Well, after I left, I was, in a casket. They, Second Inquisition killed off basically most of the kindred in London, including Mithras.
This would be the first you've heard details of London. You've heard, again, through Bella and others about the prepping for a war and what's happening on the coast. This is the first time you've actually heard any, like, actual details as to what happened. This is the first time you've heard London fell to the Second Ink. You just knew they fell, and you're not sure why.
Bit scary, actually. Mithras was an old fucker.
Mithras does not ring a bell to the three of you at all.
In or out of game, not a clue.
And that's fine, and that makes sense. Your characters wouldn't know, and that's fine.
So how would Rowan know about that?
Good question. If he's tied to the Second Inquisition, remember, Second Inquisition is a blanket term the kindred use. It does not refer to government only. It refers to any and all hunters who hunt them down. So a Second Inquisition taking down London could mean the government did it, which I think is the lore as the government did it, but it could also mean that the St. Leopold did it, that a bunch of individuals did it, that they all teamed up and did it. Like, Second Inc is not specific.
Yeah. We could ask be stationed in London, in which case, well, there's not many people left there.
Yeah, he's bloodthirsty.
Okay, well, send him to New York, and there's a bunch of Sabat there. There's also Annox and Camarilla, and there's some good people there as well. But
didn't you say he would come back?
Well, maybe it'll take a while for him to be trained, and I'm sure he will appreciate the training, because then he can kill more of us.
I don't want him fucking trained. I fought him without training. So hear me when I say I can't be involved in handing him over to the SI. If his fate is to one day become part of it, that is his fate, but I will not play a hand in it.
So we let him go. Then what? We follow him during the day? Because I can't.
I understand that. We can't follow him. He was not even a concern until he showed up. Let him continue to do what he's doing, Ollie.
I want to go back in and talk to him.
Does Ava have an idea?
I have something that might help us if we let him go. I might be able to follow him for a little bit of time, see where he goes, track him. I can reach out with my senses to try to follow him, keep an eye on him, maybe.
You would know if you were to do that with, I'm assuming you're talking about share the senses.
Yeah.
Long term, long distance, you need to taste his blood. Otherwise, you have to be looking at him. So you would need to, if not, you would need to feed basically a point of hunger off of him.
To do this, I just need a little bit of his blood.
And then we're just going to look more like the villains that he's painted us to be.
Correct.
Okay.
Or we could just follow him through other means, send one of our contacts on him during the day. I think we should keep an eye on him if we let him go.
He's got a lot to say. Let's hear what else he has to say. And I think you're right, Dakota. I think we have to let him go. Fate will find him in one way or another. It will manifest in one way or another. So, let's hear what he has to say and show him that we're not the monsters that he thinks us to be. Even if we've done some fucked up shit in the past. I'm not some hideous beast that lurks under a bed. I turn and I start walking back into the apartment.
Anybody follow him?
Yep.
Okay. Ava, Dakota, you all head in.
Yep.
Okay. You all make your way inside to the relatively small room until the last of you file in and you creak at the door shut. It bounces against the door frame. And before you realize you need to put something in front of it just to keep it shut, you get a nearby chair and just kind of stick it there. And there he is, his eyes closed, still taped to the floor, breathing rhythmically. Who takes the tape off?
I will. Yeah, I'll step up.
Ollie walks over and pulls the tape off.
You have a lot to say, and you've heard us talk a lot. If I think that you're going to spout that drivel again, I'll just put the tape back on. Why don't you tell us? Talk.
Tell you what?
Whatever you got to say.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Then tell it to her, or him. You got nothing to say to me. That's clear. I fucked up. I'm the bad guy. I get it.
Fine. He looks to each one of you in the face, stays and stares for a good 10 or 15 seconds before he moves to Ava, does the same, and Crowley and does the same, before he looks back to Ollie. I have their faces memorized. Is that what you want to hear?
No. I'm great. You have the faces memorized.
You kill me, or I'll make sure I kill them at some point.
You just want to die.
I want to do what is good for this earth.
So die?
No. Get rid of you.
You realize that we're the ones keeping shit in check in this city. It's not actually you.
You're all the fucking same, aren't you? Every one of you. Oh, the city is safe because of me. The government's stable because of my money. The crime is kept in check because I cover and rule over the underlords. Go fuck yourself.
You're just a kid. You don't know shit.
Or a lost fragment of a soul who still thinks they're alive in some way. But if
So
I
my
touch you, you're
question
cold.
is-
If I put my finger under your nose, you don't breathe. You can't eat food. And if I took your head off your body would turn to dust.
You get cold. And I can breathe. And if I cut your head off, you die too. Does that paint a different picture for you at all? Does that make sense? You take the head off of anything, the body's going to
Tell me, which of these things crumbled to dust in moments before my eyes? Which of these things died years prior? Which of these things need to drink the life force of the living to continue existing?
Oh my
And which
God,
of these run like a
you
bitch when I
talk
bring
a
up
lot.
God?
I'm gonna walk up to him, get really, really close,
Mhm.
and kind of just like lean down at him. You want to kill us? What if I let you kill me?
One less.
Out of all of us here in this room, I bet I'm the one you want to kill the most. You know why? 'Cause I killed hundreds of innocents, of children raised just like you with Ida. I let them burn.
You keep good company, Dad. You're damn right. You'll be the first.
So keep my face memorized.
Oh, I will. And I'll send your fangs back to Pops over here when I'm done.
I've got nothing to lose.
Neither do I.
And I'll step back. Let's let him go.
I agree, Ava. Let's let him go.
What purpose did that serve? Paint yourself a madman to a madman. There's nothing that we can do. There's no unwinding this. And letting him go, he's just gonna kill more kindred and more innocent people. Or he'll get found by the Inquisition, and they'll take him and they'll train him.
What would my dad tell me to do. Before he is this, before he died, my dad was a good person.
Your father is still a good person, you little shit. Again, you know not of anything that you speak.
Take off that porcelain mask, Dad. Show me your face. Show me you're the person that I remember.
Ever heard can't judge a book by its cover? Hmm?
You just want to see me as the monster that you think I am. You want to measure me by this picture of what you think all kindred are. You think that because we have to drink blood, that we're all fucking terrible. But, kid, the truth is, everyone that you see on the streets are fucking terrible. And even if you don't see them, they're fucking terrible.
At least they get the choice to be terrible and are influenced by your kind to be terrible for them.
Do you think that makes them better? Because
it gives them free will. The thing you took away when you feed on them, the thing you take away when you enroll them, the thing you take away when you turn them, the thing that was taken away from my dad.
You want to know what your dad would tell you? Which for the
my
record,
dad would tell me to get up, dust off my shorts, put my gloves back on, and get in the fucking fight again. That's what I'm gonna fucking do.
Yeah, but which fight?
The fight for goodness in my heart, the fight for mankind, the fight to survive. And if you think what you're doing is survival, then you're so fucking lost already. I don't know who you are. You lost that survival when you let yourself continue living like you are.
And you
much like you.
Will.
And he looks to Dakota, and you, and he looks to Ava, and you. You ain't the person you were before all this, no matter how
You're
much
right.
you wish.
I'm
right.
not.
We're not. But you're also right about that. And your dad would tell you to get up and get your ass back in the game, dust yourself off, relace your gloves, and get to swinging. Problem is, you're fighting the wrong fight.
And what fight should I be fighting? Sounds like you replaced me.
Do you just want to fight me?
No. I don't give a shit about you.
I can take you. I can take the tape off right now. We can square up right here.
I have no interest in taking you out. Not now.
Why?
You ain't what I give a shit about. You're a nobody.
Kid, I was a nobody before you were born. I was a nobody before I died. And you're right, I'm a nobody now. I'm a parasite. I'm a leech. The worst of the worst. I'm the fucking boogeyman. I'm sorry that you see it that way. I am. Even if you don't think that I am. I'm sorry that you see it that way. And if I could go back and do it all over again,
what would you do different?
Now, what you would do? I would pay everything that I've earned in what little time I've had without you to make sure that you went to the right family that would give you a chance. Do you want to go back to Pops?
Better than what I fucking went through.
You can go to Doc and Jules right now and they'll take you in a heartbeat.
Don't fucking play with me. There's no going back. There's no going back.
There is.
You don't know what I know. You haven't seen what I've seen.
Rowan.
You know nothing. You know nothing.
What you know. I've seen what you've seen.
No.
I witness real monsters every day.
You are them.
We're the ones who
no,
did that
you are
to you.
Monsters.
Maybe we are.
No, there's no
but
maybe.
we did not do that to you. I point to the tattoos and the scars. Guess what?
No.
Before I was a kindred.
Saved me.
Did it?
Yes.
Because it's still a scar, you little shit. And it wasn't us who put it there. So you can project your problems and your fucking daddy issues all over the place and take it from somebody that has them, both in this life and the last. You're not the only person that's hurt and abused and has been a fucking victim.
You know what the difference
is how you get up and what you fucking do about it. So instead of continuing to spout bullshit and trying to project your problems on us, we can let you go so that you can continue trying to fight your fucking fight. Would you like that?
No. The difference between me and you is that if I ever became what you would do, I'd give myself the mercy of killing myself before I became what you are now.
Well, aren't you a brave little fucker?
Damn right, you coward.
I'm a coward because I get up every day and I look at you. Awful.
Because you won't walk into the sun and accept
like
that you died years ago.
Rowan, that's just giving up. You wanted the facts from your father. We're still fighting a fight.
What fight you fighting now? What fight are you fighting? Enlighten me.
I'm making sure that there are people that live and breathe and still have a pulse.
At the cost of others.
No. I'm making sure that they have a chance. Those that society forgot about, I make sure they get food, that they get money, and that they can
Good thing they have the dad who forgot about their son to take care of them and never forget about them.
You were never forgot about. Not once.
And yet you tell these people that you created a second fucking version of me?
I created an out.
And how'd his life end up? How did my other life end up?
Under lock and key.
Yeah.
Safe?
Watch. No, hardly.
Safe.
I know the kind of tightrope I had to walk to make sure that that other one gets to at least allude to being safe. I have to be under the watchful eye, the vigilant thumb of the authority.
And I had to be under the vigilant thumb of the one who took care of me when Ida died.
And who was it? Tell me who it was so I can make them pay for what you've become.
Oh, so you can kill them for teaching me the truth?
No. So I can take them to the ring and give them a few rounds that they so deserve.
If I don't return, she'll come a knocking either way. So feel free. Keep me here. Let her come looking for you. Let's see how long you last.
I've seen her.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. In a vision.
Then
I know who you serve or who you worked for. We're not afraid of her. We don't want to kill her.
Your own ignorance, then. If my simple words can make this big guy run, just a whisper from her will make you burst into flame. Be fucking afraid. You're either gonna kill me, or you're not. Make up your mind.
Can I kill him? Please, 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 please.
Where is she? Where is she?
You want her?
I want to know where she is, yeah.
Then you best kill me, because she'll come looking.
If you die, won't she come looking anyway? Or do you really not matter that much to her? Are you just a pawn in that game?
He said, kill me and she'll come looking.
I pulled his shoe off.
You pull off his shoe.
I bet these shoes have seen a few things. I hand it to Ava.
I was going to say, we could just force it out of him. Or you could just tell us, so we don't have to use our horrible vampire powers.
What makes you think I even know where she is?
Look, mate, you're not in the same city as the person who's running you, and you just happen to not know where she is. But also, what you said earlier about us being different people to the people we were. Yeah, of course we are. Time moves on.
You're not a person is the point.
Well, I eat. I watch the sunrise. I watch the sunset. I make love. I even occasionally fart.
Okay.
The point is, everyone is fucking different. And yeah, a whole shit ton of kindred are completely assholes. And the entire system, pretty much built by assholes. Everyone likes to paint entire organizations with one brush and just be like, they're assholes, they're nice guys. It's simple as that. But in every system there's different people. Because people are different. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of kindred I've met. I'd be happy for you to just... But your dad does actually seem to be sorry. And yeah, by the sounds of it, he knows he fucked up. But dads do. What we do. No one's perfect. Sorry.
Keep speaking like you think you're still a person, and yet not a single one of you don't gotta drink blood to keep going. You raise your hand, and he raises an eyebrow but doesn't say anything. Stop using the fucking word person. You ain't one.
Well, neither are you. And if you are, you're a sad fucking excuse for one. To spot? See, here's the thing. I could right here in front of your daddy slip my wrist and drip it right into your mouth and turn you into the thing that you hate most.
You know what the difference between me and you are then? I put a bullet in my head the next day.
Then our problem is solved either way. The difference is you took the coward way out. See, your dad, he talks about being a fighter. You're not a fighter. You're a scared little boy.
And why am I the one taped down?
I don't know. I didn't do that. See, I've already gone head to head with you. Actually, that, and that. And I point. If I remember correctly, there are scars there probably to remind you.
I actually think the both times you've both bested me is because you caught me by surprise. Balls in the middle of taking care of other problems.
Nope, sounds to me like you need to get your shit together because everyone in your life is going to take you by surprise. Ollie, I think we're going to have to let him go, or I'm going to have an early snack tonight, because I can't continue to listen to his vitriol pour out of his fucking ugly ass face.
What's that movie line? Truth hurts. Come on, Dad. Let me go. I promise I'll be a good boy.
You're wrong.
So you
In a
keep
lot of
saying.
ways. And that's okay. Until you see right, you'll never know. We're gonna let you go. Because you're probably doing some good. And I'm not gonna say that you haven't killed people that didn't deserve it. But there are those that don't deserve it. And if you're gonna kill anyone, people or not, open your eyes a little bit. Look at and see if they actually deserve it.
They always deserve it.
Who gives
Why?
you the right to say that? Who gives
Their actions
us...
give me the right.
Is that so? Last time I checked, your little god is the only person that's supposed to dealt out judgment.
Want to ask him with me?
Maybe one day he and I can go head to head, but until then, you don't get to pass judgment. See, I too was a kid, grew up in a church, was taken every Sunday. Father beat her mother, killed her on her deathbed. See, all these things, these horrible things, lived on trains, was beat and spat at by every Tom, Dick, and fucking Harry from here to the goddamn West and East Coast. Nothing that you're gonna say is gonna affect us.
And what did that make you?
In the end,
Killed.
It made me stronger. And it gave me a chance for a second life to do better than my first.
Yo, you all refer to your fucking existence as life. That's how I know you're lost.
See, that's funny. Once again, it's not yours to define. My life is mine.
And what do you
Just
think's
as
gonna
yours
happen
is
when you
yours.
die again? God is gonna open his gates and let you in?
I'm not worried about God. And I can't think about what ifs. For too long in my life, I lived doing what ifs. Now I live in the now.
Mate.
Your life, unfortunately, is spent on your knees,
My
praying
life
to a
was
god
decided.
that never shows himself, that allows a plague like us to walk this earth. So I ask, who has been left behind with lies and deceit, hiding
We
behind
are
religion
made
and spirituality?
in his image, and we are to serve his purpose. He acts through me.
Great, then you ought to blame God for being given up to an old woman who tattooed your body and told you otherwise.
No, I think I'll keep blaming the butcher.
Mate.
That's not how this works. Everything
Did you
we
see
say
her
here is
die? The old woman. Did you see her die?
Keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah,
Did you?
did, didn't you?
Fuck you.
When she died, did she
Fuck
turn
you.
to sticks
Shut
too?
your fucking mouth. You do not talk to
I bet
her
she did.
about her,
Leave.
of her,
Dirt.
ever.
Sticks.
Oh, sticks
I was
and
right
stones
then.
will break my bones.
I was right, wasn't I? Giving you to her was the best thing that I could have done. Until when you stumbled across this she-devil that turned you into a fucking madman.
You go fuck yourself. You go fuck yourself.
What was the
It's
name?
your fault I'm here.
What was her name? You're
I'm not-
right, it's my fucking fault.
I'm fucking
Because
saying shit.
Because 23 years ago that I decided to fall in love with someone and dick her, and then you became about.
And then when
So
you
it's suddenly
died,
my fault?
you didn't stay dead.
So because I didn't... That's what you're mad about.
If you stayed
what you're
dead,
mad
my
about.
life would have been normal.
No, it wouldn't have.
It would have been more normal than this.
My life wasn't normal since before I was born.
That ain't my
You were
fucking
born
problem.
into this.
You brought me into this world.
I brought you in to give you a chance.
You didn't give me one.
Your
You
mother...
gave the other one a chance.
Your mother gave you up after I died. She left you on the doorstep of the orphanage, and I visited the moment that they took the fucking shackles off.
Oh, your friend visited me.
Your friend,
That's the
Mr.
only one who
Dante?
ever visited me.
Mr. Dante?
Yeah.
The black fucking hood? That was me, Rowan. That was me. I brought the gloves. I brought the trunks. That was me, you little arrogant shit.
And
That
so you
was
come
me.
visit me and then give me away? You tell
I
me
didn't
everything's
have a
gonna be
choice.
okay. That my dad wanted me to have this shit. And then months later, you give me to some stranger.
I gave you a way out. And because you're defending her means that was the right fucking choice that I should have
She's
done right then.
dead. She's dead.
Everything
He was your
dies,
only
remember?
out.
Yeah.
Everything
When
dies.
they're allowed their natural fucking death, everything's allowed to die.
So turning to sticks and stones is natural.
She didn't turn to sticks and stones. What are you talking about?
So then she bled out. Do you go back and visit her grave much?
None of your fucking business, and I want you to keep your name out of her fucking mouth, Mr. Good Guy Dad. Keep being that good guy.
This is why I
Take your
know that I
son's
did the
wish
right thing.
and shut your fucking mouth and let me go.
That's why I know I did the right thing.
Oh, fuck you.
Because if I did the wrong thing, you wouldn't give a damn about defending her dead name.
Your actions not only led me to this life, but got her killed too. How do you feel about that?
And what about
You
your
gave
actions?
me to her.
And look at where your actions wound you up.
Yeah.
Taped to the floor, confronting monsters who want to see you live. We want to see you live. Give you a chance that we weren't afforded. We didn't have chances.
I have
Rowan.
purpose.
You-
I have purpose now.
Sure, you have a purpose. It's not the same as a life. You're just waiting to die. You're not alive. You say we're not alive because of the life we lead. You ain't alive. You're just doing one job after the next as someone tells you to. Take responsibility for your own life, mate.
I am helping bring order back.
You're breeding negativity. Breed some fucking positivity.
I am by killing you all off one by fucking one.
This is going nowhere.
No.
I know.
Do you remember, Madison?
You remember the man who took you?
Do not talk about things you have no idea about.
Here's the thing, I was there.
We're the ones who created everything. Of course,
No.
we can talk about it.
I walk right back over and straddle him again, and I get really close to his face. See, I was there with your dad the year that you were missing, where you were being held captive by a man. Do you remember that? See, I was there to watch your father pine every day for you. I was there and rode a train with him all the way to Madison to save you. I was there.
I was saved.
And he came walking out of the forest with a dummy body so that you didn't have to go into enslavement. Amarillo.
Is it a dummy?
I was there.
Yeah. Well, I heard my dad
Train
tell you
ride back.
10 minutes ago that a part of me is in there. Maybe my empathy got left behind.
You want it back? You want it back? I'll go. I'll get it. Do you want to see what other Rowan could be like? Because now you're both at the age where you can actually have a decision.
Yeah.
for
You think you
yourself.
can bring me that, Rowan?
I can.
I can get you, that Rowan, and Matthew. And I bet
I don't need Matthew. I have nothing against the boy
Ollie.
or man. I have nothing against that man.
he can put you back together. He took you apart.
Ollie. We ought not make promises we can't keep. See, Rowan, I think that you're hurting.
Yeah.
And I think you're currently living everything that is your personal hell.
You don't know what my hell is.
You are a lost soul.
I
Seeking
still have a
purpose.
soul.
Maybe, but it's being eaten away by hatred and fear.
Of
Watch him.
evil.
Watch him. I'll be back. I'm not going to be about an hour. I'll be back.
Ollie.
I'm not going to go talk to anyone. I'm just going to go get something.
He's your
One
son.
of the few prized possessions that I have left.
Fair enough. Rowan,
Where do you go?
I'm going to go to the sewers, to
Okay.
a hidden cache.
Mhm.
Probably have some money or things like that that are important, but I'm going to go fetch the gloves that was the cause of my mother's death.
Okay.
It was one of the few things that I have left from
Just
my
to crumble away part of the sewer concrete that you're able to kind of pull off with your inhuman strength. And you see just this little kind of dugout hole. It's clearly not, built as part of the structure, and over time was made by hand or by tool or maybe a mix of both. And you see him push some things aside, a little bit of money and a few other things, and eventually pulls out gloves. A piece of the wall goes back and you kind of push it into place and make sure it's stuck real well.
They're old school boxing gloves.
Mhm.
They the Sugar Ray Robinson's gloves signed.
Mhm.
There's a enormous cut in one of them, which is what spurned the fight.
Yep. I remember very well. Make your way back upstairs.
While he's away, I'm just gonna get some water for Rowan, maybe like some sort of snack bar or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna look at him and just say, we've been focusing on a lot of the negativity. You obviously care for this woman. Why don't you actually tell us about her?
So you can hunt her down yourself and kill her?
No, tell us about the old lady, the one you said is already dead.
You do not deserve to hear about her.
Well, maybe you can
None of you
convince
do.
us.
You got something
Why?
better to talk about?
Obviously, she was the one shining light in your life.
I can speak great detail on how I would kill each and every one of you.
You're going to anyway, right?
Not unless you ask. He just goes quiet after that.
What was she? Old lady? Alone? Mother figure? Grandma figure? She like cups of tea? Cats? Dogs? Take the nice things in your life and cherish them, mate. They don't last forever. Now drink up.
And you reach down to put some water in his mouth, and while he doesn't necessarily take it, what drops do find his way past his lips, he will swallow.
No, if he doesn't take it, I'll just pull it away and just be like, look, dude, you've been here for almost, 24 hours by this point. You need to drink. You need to eat. If you want to try and escape the big scary monsters, you're gonna need your strength. It's water. You saw me getting out the tap.
He continues to just ignore you, and you go try again, and he still will.
No, I'll respect that. If he doesn't, I'll just put it on the side. Just let him stare at it if he wants to.
Yeah, and within 10 minutes, Ollie makes his way back in. There's a glass of water by his face.
I'm gonna lean down and I'm gonna start tearing the tape up.
Okay. You start loosening his binds and ripping it off of his arms, and as you kind of do so, he actually will stretch out his arms, rub them a bit. He'll sit up as you take the tape off. Do you go whole body, or you're just going arms?
I'm just gonna give him upper torso.
Okay. Well, if you don't stop him, he'll reach to his legs and start pulling the tape off of his legs. He doesn't look like he's doing it in a hurry. He's not scrambling. He's just very deliberately.
And I'm gonna put some gloves in his lap.
He looks at them. Would he know these gloves very well? How often would you have brought these gloves out in the 8 years you had with him or so?
They were in the living room. They were basically.
You kept them just displayed out in the living room? Okay.
Very important mantelpiece.
So you just kind of drop them on his lap?
I don't throw them. I just kind of lower them.
Mm-hmm.
And I set them down there.
He stops mid tape pull on the fifth piece of tape that's just right around his knee as you put them down. He just looks at the gloves. He doesn't look at you.
I don't know why I held on to these. It's mostly a bad memory for when decisions were made for me when I was a kid. When my dad came back in on some fucked up high, and I point to the cut in the gloves, and he made a decision that changed my life. When he pushed my mom out of a window, no more than 4 blocks from here. I had a choice growing up, Rowan. And you have a choice now. I don't want to see you die. Because life is hard, kid. No matter what kind of hand you've been dealt. And you can choose to fight for someone else. Or fight for yourself. But I'm going to pass these to you. And while living as a monster was the hardest thing that I've ever been through, failing you was a nightmare. One that I live with every day of my life, or my unlife. And I hate it.
He finishes with the tape as you've been talking, and he pulls off the last piece before he pushes himself up and takes the gloves by the string dangling by his index finger. You can see his face is a mix of rage and sadness. No tears fall from his eyes, though, as he looks to you. Your life is a nightmare, then I guess it's suited that you live in the night. If you don't want to kill me, stay out of my fucking way.
The years, kid.
If you just kind of leave it at that, he clenches his fist as he looks around at the 4 of you, clearly debating just for the briefest moment if he's heavily out, if he thinks he can handle it, but doesn't go for a swing. He doesn't look like he gets aggressive, just kind of weighing the situation. And he carrying the gloves, he just pushes past you.
Do you mind if we give you a lift somewhere?
Actually, as he goes to walk out of the door, I'm going to kind of bash him on the back of the head and knock him out.
Strength brawl.
Because he can't see where old Crowley is residing at the moment.
Yep.
Yep. Correct. You don't want him to.
You probably see Ollie turn and like,
yep,
pull that away from the eyes.
He's unconscious.
Great.
And he's about to walk out the door, and as Ollie, it's tears of as you pull away, it smears of blood across the bottom of your eye, and he's about to reach for the door, and Dakota just takes a quick step forward and just back of the elbow on the back of his head, and just goes
That felt good.
hits the ground.
I move in front of him and catch him before he like falls too far.
Crowley, if you wouldn't mind maybe dropping him, say, a ways from here, and you may want to drop by this location. I give him the corner where I left a police car, and I'm going to drop keys in his hand. There's something in the boot you may want.
Right. Okay.
I'll go with you. I still
Right.
have a shoe. No, I want to use it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I know.
It's a good thing to have.
I was like,
Is it obviously police car keys? Do they say like property of Chicago PD?
Oh yeah.
Do I know if cars are low-jacked in this universe?
Likely not.
Okay.
you better
At least not
hurry. It's been there
beat up.
24 hours if you start.
Yeah, it's been there
fresh.
for a while
Okay.
as a thing. So
Right. Well, I will make endeavors to move fast.
So again, just for someone very clearly, what's the steps? Who's doing what and where? Crowley's going out to drop him off far to the west. Is that the plan?
Let me look
Further
at the map.
south. Yeah, take a look at the map. You know where the territories reside. Ava, you're going with him?
Yes.
Okay. Dakota? Where are you
No.
going? You're staying with Ollie?
No, I'll kill him before he gets where he's going at this point.
I mean, you
I'm done with this.
before,
Yeah, I'm done
and
with
he's
this
not
shit.
your
Like, I'm
touchstone, so
over it. I'm so over it.
Chat, I mean, like, I could sit here and say, yeah, 7 successes as you bash the guy in the head so hard he's dead. But Dakota wasn't trying to murder
I wasn't trying
him.
to kill
Just trying to knock
him.
him out.
It's just
Yeah.
more,
right.
you knock him out.
My
you know, it's just-
success was knocking him out.
Yeah, you
Strictly-
succeeded in knocking him out.
Strictly, you need 1 net hits over, which is 6, and
Yep.
6 superficial would only do a tiny bit of aggravated. The guy's
Yeah,
fine. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
dead.
fine.
I hope he has a
Yeah.
bump on his head and he gets up.
He's
and
not a
thinks
normal
about me.
mortal with like somewhere between 4 and 5 health. He has a little bit more than that.
So just pump your brakes, chat. I know you guys really want us to either kill him, ghoul him. Just, we gotta let this one go, everybody.
I'm gonna drop him in Forest Park in the west.
Okay, north. So out by Forest Park would be just outside of the Royal Hunting Grounds, like right where the Royal Hunting Grounds end. So they're still within Chicago territory, but not within Royal Hunting
Yeah,
Grounds.
it's also straight down the 110. Like I can go straight down there.
It's super easy. Just takes you like 45 minutes
and
to
it
get
won't
there or
lead
something like
anywhere
that.
back because it's just a main thoroughfare.
Yep. So Ava's going to go with him. Dakota's going to stick with Ollie.
And as soon as we're in the van, I want words.
Yeah, I imagine each group would like words with each other. So, who would like to start?
I don't know if
You know what? Let's start with Ollie and Dakota. While
Yeah.
emotions are high,
I was gonna say
let's get that.
I'm happy to also give them like if Ollie
Oh,
needs to breathe
fuck.
or something. Or I know this is very emotional, so if you need a second, or
Well,
you
like
can-
you could also like be talking. You could
ride
also
the
have one last
emotion.
conversation while you're putting the body in. You're getting ready to take the body out. So take it away, Ollie and Dakota, as things are getting ready to take the boy away.
Ollie's probably like, if there's a couch, is there any kind of like furniture?
There's a
Just-
chair in here.
There's a chair,
tiny chair
there's
and a
bed,
table.
which also doubles as like a sofa, and there is a flat-chested freezer, which if you wanted to, you could hop onto and sit on.
Ollie's probably like, he's got his ass leaned up against it, and is just like his hands are on his head, just like how could this happen?
I'll just whisper to Ava on the way out. We'll see you at the bar.
okay.
Ollie and Dakota, alone. Ollie, Dakota, you see Ollie. Like I said, he's leaning. His head is in his hands. You've not seen him really be sad or like this ever.
Dakota doesn't say anything.
Okay.
She walks over and gives Ollie a hug.
How does Ollie respond? You feel an embrace. When was the last time Ollie got a hug? Like a genuine hug, not a hey, hi, it's good to see you. Grant will probably give you like hugs every so often, but like a genuine, I'm here for you.
It's probably been
Exactly. And that's all that needs to be said. It's probably been. And so you feel an embrace. The hands are familiar and you know who's in the room. You hug back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I recently learned that hugs can be helpful.
How could I fuck up so bad?
You didn't fuck up. You did what you thought was right, and that's the most anybody can do, right? I don't care that you lied to me or us. I'm beginning to learn that everybody lies to me. That Rowan. That doesn't have to be your boy.
I just did what I thought was best.
And you did. We're all just trying to do what we think's best, right? Ollie, you're the best dad. I remember going with you to that orphanage, watching from afar.
No, I fucked up. I put him in harm's way.
Any more than he would have been. You gave him a chance to have something else other than the Camarilla and a life under lock and key. We could not have known that old woman was gonna... or that she was gonna die. Your son may be hurting and maybe confused, but he's...
Deep down,
son, right?
Dakota, as you speak these words, there's this feeling of apathy that still lingers every time. You want these words to mean something, and you do care about Ollie. When you speak these kind words about Ollie, they ring true. Anytime you bring up Rowan, there's just a hollowness in you, like it doesn't matter. But the more you speak with Ollie, even just silently, he just stands there and you see the true torment on his face, a reminder of everything it once was to be attached or care. And you remember how important Rowan was to you too. That without Rowan, you may not even have this family, this coterie that you live for. You've made mistakes. You've fucked up. You've lived a very selfish life for a long time. These 10 years, while you tell yourself, and it is true, that the hound position is as much to keep your friends safe as it is to give yourself belonging and purpose. Recently, Dakota's purpose in the Camarilla, her faith in the government to some degree, or those who lead at the very least, has been shaken. and to see what once was the reminder of 10 years ago jars something loose almost. A reminder of what it was to be human, to care for something beyond self-serving aggrandizement and power. And so, in this moment, as you watch Ollie cry tears of blood for the first time, you gain a touchstone in Rowan, and you gain a humanity in turn.
Oh, shit.
Your third touchstone has been replaced. Convictions can be your choice.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And
Okay.
your humanity jumps to 5.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'll deal with all this in a minute.
It catches you by surprise. It's the echo of sadness. It's tough because you know what it feels like, but you truly only ever feel it towards your own failures or the camera or kindred. This is the echoes of empathy. Also the name of the episode title.
Ollie.
What do I do from here?
I don't know. I don't know. We keep fighting, right? That's what you told your son, and that's what you told me the last time I was crying tears of blood, remember?
Oh, man, feelings suck.
You say that until you don't actually have any. I don't even know what to say, except that I'm sorry.
When you say that, you mean it, but more and deeper than you've ever meant it. Yeah, you're sorry for everything that happened today. And when you say you're sorry, even if it wasn't your intent, you think of Rowan and what happened to him. And yeah, maybe there were ways you could have changed it, but what's done is done. But you're still sorry for it. Genuinely sorry for it.
You and Ava are the...
You Ava and Crowley.
And Crowley, too. I guess, kind of, in his weird, creepy uncle kind of way, are the only family I've ever had. I don't know anything else. I didn't have anything else. Ollie, you're better than 95% of the men, the real men, the living, bleeding ones that I've met in my life.
Not a man.
You are if you want to be.
Men are loved and looked up to. Nobody loves me.
It's not true. Ava loves you and...
Shit.
I love you.
No, you don't.
I mean, what would make you say that?
You have more things to worry about than feeling for me, right?
Like what?
It's like, look at me. He said it. I'm a monster. I can't even pull down this face.
You're the monster? He's covered in horrific tattoos of crosses and gaudy 90s bullshit. Ollie, I recently had somebody tell me that if somebody loves you, they're just gonna love you for who you are. I didn't know the other Ollie. I only know this Ollie. I only love this Ollie. may have other shit to deal with. Other Camarilla bullshit. But that's the sacrifice I made. Because I've rained a lot of hell on this coterie. I've taken everything from Ava. I've put us at risk more times than I can count. And I just want to see Ollie happy and safe, and if there's anything that I can do on my end to make that a reality, I will.
I'm gonna reach up and undo the small snaps of the mask.
You can hear the latches coming undone as the metal buttons come off, and
what are you
as
doing?
it loosens, he catches it and go ahead.
And I'll lower it. You've never seen my face for, what, the last 13 years?
You didn't want me to.
How can you love this? I'll pull the mask away.
What you see is, as described before, his mouth isn't a mouth. It is a wide, gaping jaw. Its lines come all the way up to its ears, and when he talks, his whole jaw feels like it comes unhinged like a snake. Inside is a snarling mess of pointed, jagged teeth, some cracked, some dull, some as sharp as a shark, none of them in any particular order. And there's a thick, viscous fluid that seems to just constantly cover the inside of his mouth while he talks. How he's able to create words, how he's able to speak with this as his face, it shouldn't be possible. And yet, when he opens like a nightmare from a movie, words still come out.
Dakota doesn't budge or take her eyes off of you.
You've seen many a Nosferatu, Dakota. You've seen a lot of different malformed people. While his is unique, certainly, it's not anywhere near the worst. It's bad. But you've seen worse. His whole body is relatively fine otherwise, beyond his one arm.
You think that's gonna scare me off?
You've never seen me. Now you have.
Thank you. I don't think any less of you. You're still Ollie. My Ollie. I'll kind of reach up very gently with a hand and just kind of put it against your face. See, I'm not scared of you.
Kind of flinch at first. And almost instinctively moving the the hand up and feeling hers, like the touch.
Cold. Much like he is. Cold to the touch.
I want to rouse the blood.
Okay. Roll me a rouse check. Okay, you get hungry?
Hungry 3.
Yep. And what do you do?
I put heat back in my skin.
Blush of life.
Blush.
You can feel as the vitae courses through your veins, each organ kind of coming online individually. Oh, that's what it's like to breathe. And you can feel the warmth in your fingertips, and you can actually feel him warm up as his hand is touching yours and the blood begins to move.
Are you okay?
You, Miss Dakota, haven't been able to do this for a while. But the blood calls. And you know...
Oh, that's right. I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it now.
You can. And so you get hungrier, and as you feel the warmth return to his skin, it almost starts there and spreads through your body, almost like instinct kicking in again. And you feel yourself get hungrier, but you can feel your blood move through your body again, and you can feel yourself come alive. In a false sense. But it's the first time you felt this in 10 years. You, breathing and blinking and moistening of the eyes and, the memory of being mortal.
I'm going to put my hand to her face as well.
See? We can do what they do. I know that is your boy. And 10 years ago, I told you that I would do anything for you and him. And I meant it, and I still mean it, Ollie, but it doesn't have to be your family. Not anymore. You did what you thought was right. Nobody is blaming you for that but him.
It's okay if Ollie just stays silent. Okay. And on that, with those last words of comfort, the camera will very, very gently fade. And then rising fade to the noise of cars, a car, highway, maybe a radio on playing some 60s tunes.
No, not this time.
And Ava and Crowley driving down the highway.
So,
This has been a day I did not expect to happen.
no. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Tell me about this orphanage.
Remember the other day when you brought up the fact that there was some weird tension between Ollie and I, and what
Right.
that was all about? It very much has to do with that. We had a mission about a decade or so ago. It was the last one that we did as a functioning coterie before we all split apart and eventually got led back together. We were sent to this orphanage by the prince. And I'll get into the details because it's been a while, but in the end, we found that the children in this orphanage weren't just children. They were being raised by the Second Inquisition. Being raised to be little killers of our kind. And in the moment, none of us really knew what to do. We were scrambling because it was not something we expected to see. None of us expected this at all. And I made the quick decision to let the place burn with all of them in it. It was my job to lead them out, and I didn't. I left them when the building imploded, basically. It's something to this day, I think, Ollie hasn't forgotten.
I'm going to pull off the highway and park up underneath. And how do you feel about that now?
I'd rather not talk about how I feel about it now. In the moment, I think it was the right decision. But who I was doing it for, it was the wrong reason. I think a lot of times there's never a right choice to make. And we learned that today with what Ollie experienced with his son. That no matter what we choose, it's always the wrong choice. That's what I've learned from all of this. So why feel guilty about anything? Because it's always wrong. Which is why I think I needed... I care about Ollie. I mean it. I really do. Which is why I needed to be away and let Dakota talk to him. Because I think the things I don't think he would believe anything I told him. I think Dakota would have been the best person to talk to him. Does this change your opinion of me, Crowley?
I'd be lying if it said it didn't. The
It's
woman I've got to
debatable
know.
whether... I'm curious, actually. I'm going to poke you a little bit here, Crowley. Knowing one of your convictions as they are, it's debatable whether this hits that or not. I guess it thoroughly depends on how Crowley sees the definition of the term innocent.
You would consider them innocent.
Okay, we'll continue. You weren't there to stop it, and you weren't there to witness it, so it's not going to provoke any rage or anything.
Yeah, I was debating that personally, but the
No,
woman I'm talking to now is 10, 15 years removed, which I think is the
no,
difference.
it definitely can frustrate you and upset you. I was curious if it even would, simply because, you know, what she said about them being turned into Second Inquisition. But yeah.
The woman I'm talking to now, I've got to know you, at least a little bit. And I like you. But by the sounds of it, that woman 10 years ago... I don't know, it's 10 years ago. That woman when the orphanage happened...
I said a decade. but
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay.
That woman 10 years ago. I think we'd have had our differences. And yeah, we're making the most of a shitty life. I left behind a lot of things to become someone's personal pet killer. Sounds like Ollie left behind being a boxer to become a pub landlord. Bit of a different shift. And I can only imagine what you left behind. And yeah, everything is compromises. None of it is perfect. Kindred is shit. The whole establishment is shit, because the entire thing is a compromise. And yeah, nothing ever comes away smelling of roses, because if it does, you've obviously missed the person you fucked over. But one of the important things to me, not only do I remember and try and make sure I feel food, art, sex, whatever, but also try and make sure I feel the bad stuff as well. Because that's what being human is. And guilt? Yeah, I feel that too. It's distant, it's remote, but I try and hone in on it. I try and hold on. Because that shit is part and parcel of being mortal. And I've done stuff. Stuff that I'm bloody guilty of. And I've let people down. And I've abandoned the people I love. But to forget that would make me the monster. Because that means I don't value it. That my actions don't have bad consequences and that I can just revel in doing things that cause other people misery. Sometimes remembering the bad stuff is good for you. Because otherwise you forget what is bad. So when I ask you, how do you feel about blowing up an orphanage now and killing a whole bunch of kids? I want you to feel bad. Because if you don't, then you are the monster.
Ava can even just chew on that. Doesn't need to respond now. That can just be something that strikes her in a way that no one's really been able to strike at before, or at least sends her into a thought. And sometimes that's all it takes. And the rest of the drive can go rather silently, if that's what you choose.
Yeah. I have
Ava,
nothing to say until we drop him off.
Yeah. After everything's dropped off, you find, like you said, in the park, maybe you put him on a bench.
I'll want to talk to him briefly when he wakes up.
You'd have to, he's unconscious for a while.
I've got my first aid kit. I'll patch him up
if you
want to.
If you want to use an intelligence medicine check to
Sure.
rouse him sooner, you're welcome to.
Blows to his head. I want to make sure he's okay.
Yep.
You know what? I'll willpower.
And you can only reroll one of those. Okay. So with one success, you will be able to rouse him earlier. And from all you can tell, man, that blow left a hell of a lump on the back of his head. You're not sure if he has a concussion or not, but he does come to after a bit of tending to and smelling salts and stuff, and eventually, fuck, and he kind of like starts to loosely push himself up.
Whoa! You shouldn't stand too soon. You took a blow to the head there.
And when you say that, his eyes almost snap open like alert, and he's like trying to focus.
Whoa. Okay. Don't push yourself too fast. I've done that before, and it hurts like a motherfucker. Look, I want to make sure you're okay before I leave you here. You're in far over in the far end, in the west. I think it's Forest Park. You should be able to get a bus back from here or something. I give him a $10 note or something because I know he's got
you give him
nothing on him.
some pocket change basically.
Yeah.
You kind of like leave it next to him, and he just looks at it, and he looks up to you, and he still like looks like he's struggling to focus. His eyes are struggling to focus.
I like make sure I check his eyes and like.
Yep, you do. And I mean, they're dilating. It's just he's coming to,
Right,
and like you said, he got whacked real hard.
Look, before I go, it might be weird and fucked up, but then again, what family isn't? Your dad still cares for you. And that old woman, whoever she is, obviously means something to you. Hold on to the good things in life. And all of us have many good things left. Try and live something by it.
He's looking at you this whole time. You're speaking to him, but he doesn't respond.
I put a bottle of Lucozade next to him.
Sure.
And we had him tied up for a day.
Yep.
Does he need a new pair of pants?
I mean, no, you don't smell any shit on him.
Okay. In which case, I give him a bottle of Lucozade and a takeaway sandwich that I bought at a gas station.
So you throw him a drink and some food and a little bit of money, and you just kind of like give him a nod, like, all right then. And you make your way. You walk, and he watches you walk away, but he doesn't say anything. And then when you're eventually back in the car and you drive away, he breaks his gaze as he disappears in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, I would have to park the car far enough away that he couldn't get the license.
Oh, yeah, I imagine that you were being precautionary. You head back to the bar? Is that the plan? Drive back to the bar?
You okay,
I
Ava?
wanted to find out more about this.
Well, you have a shoe.
Yes.
We can do some visiony stuff. I would ideally, well, we'll see where it leads.
Okay.
It's a fine
Do you want to
line
do it now in the
between being
car?
Guilty and beating yourself up.
Say that again, Crowley.
There's a fine line between being guilty and beating yourself up.
I just... want Ollie.
Well, why don't you tell him?
I've tried. I don't think I can ever get the right words.
Okay.
And usually words are not that hard for me.
I've noticed.
But in this situation, it's real, you know? It's not made up. Sometimes it's hard to find real words, not fake, honeyed words.
Why don't you write it down?
I've tried that too. It's just... I don't know if you've ever felt this way in your kindred life, but sometimes you go to a point where you just start... I don't know if I can ever go back, if I can feel real feelings. I struggle with it. I struggle with it, I think, more than anybody in our coterie because of who I am in my clan. I want to feel real emotion, but I can't. I think, and I feel like it's because of the decisions I've made. And I just feel apathy sometimes, which is why I had this impulsion to just walk up to this sack of shit freaking Inquisition kid and tell him exactly how I felt about his kind. Do you ever feel that way?
Of course. Everyone does. That's not just kindred. People feel that way. Sometimes you just want to let off steam. Make yourself feel better. But what would it do? Wouldn't make him feel better. Wouldn't really make you feel better. And guess what that is? That's an emotion you're feeling. But you've got some still left in you.
I don't know. You said that people who don't feel guilt for their actions, that they're monsters. They've become monsters.
There are people like that too.
What if I've become that? How would you feel?
You wouldn't be asking me that question if you didn't. Because you're afraid you can't feel. It means you're afraid. If you weren't debating this, then sure. You're on maybe a tipping point, a knife edge. Maybe that's what you're worried about. The fact that you are on a slippery slope that we all sit on. And you could go down it. But if you could go down, means you can go back up. Although, climbing a mountain is definitely much more difficult than falling down it.
It is. I almost had this impulsion. I keep saying impulsion. This impulse. I don't know where that word's coming from. I almost had this.
Compulsion's another one.
Compulsion, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Impulsion, compulsion. You've just invented
Yeah, it's
new
close.
words.
It's all
Same.
the same.
Words are hard. I almost had this impulse to keep going down the mountain. I saw him in the back of our car. And I wanted to just turn him.
That's power. Having power over someone, you get tempted to use it. That's why most princes are assholes. Power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's unconscious. He's got no power. You're a kindred. A beautiful toreador with the power to confuse men's minds. You've got a lot of power. Power dynamics and power imbalances are personal, well, I find them interesting. But you're also able to admit it. Talking about these things is healthy. Provided you talk to the right person. Wouldn't exactly go talking to the sheriff about not turning a member of the Second Inquisition and then let him go. Talking to me, you know, some bloke who's new here, who doesn't know anyone. My biggest concern is I might tell a tree. I don't know why I still do that. Talking to trees doesn't really do anything when you don't have any breath to breathe oxygen on them.
Thank you, Crowley. You're a good guy.
Some might even say I have a heart. It's currently stored in my freezer, so there's that.
Ba-da-ba-ba-dum-bum.
And you're full of jokes, too.
Well,
And I can't
sometimes
help
have
but
to
smile.
lighten the mood. Anything to make you smile.
And why don't we say, on that drive, we'll worry about that sneaker
One note.
another time. You got one more
Crowley
thing?
will rouse the blood.
Okay.
And with a warm hand, we'll place it on Ava's shoulder and give her a squeeze.
And with that gentle squeeze from a warm hand of a dead person, but also maybe alive, who fucking knows when blush of life is happening. Oh, Maya, Jesus Christ. Yeah, there we go. She got tangled up in my wire for no reason.
Cats.
We will fade. The camera will pull back to the back seat, out the rear view mirror, stay stationary as the car drives off, and slowly fade to black as we end the episode there.
Ooh, good job, everybody. That was...
I think we all need like a pint of vodka after that one. Bub, you can have 2.
Yeah. You guys are awesome.
Let's talk
Good
about it in
job.
the after show.
Yeah. So, anyway, going very quickly through the announcements and so on. Today's support was Kirby. Kirby, thank you very much. You picked a good episode. Woo! We have Monster Hearts next Saturday with a completely different cast and Random Tuesday long with GMing, so there will not be any VATM next Saturday, but we will be back the weekend after. Crowley's character sheet will be coming at some point this week, and the monthly recap will be coming at some point this week as well. And that's it for announcements. Let's go very quickly through people so that we can all escape and drink. Do after shows. Let's start off with I think the one with the most touchstone problems. Oliver Hopkins, the Bub or Not Bub. What about you? Who are you? What are you doing? Where we find you?
I'm Bub. You guys can find me all over the internet as Bub, the Bub or Not. I do a lot of Twitch stuff. I am recording my journey into a healthier life full of wellness and all that on Twitter. Also on Instagram. I just did a side-by-side comparison of...
You look good, my dude.
And it's bounds different.
Just watch just around the
Amazing.
corner.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
just-
mean,
just
you know,
watch-
Amazing.
after every VTM episode, I have to get a cold shower now, so working, man.
I'm working on like 11, almost 12 stone down. So it's been a journey. And I still got, another like 100+ pounds to go, but I'm
You're
working on
12 stone down?
Yeah, about.
Okay, yeah, you've lost over me.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Damn.
Awesome, dude. That's fucking great.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hard work, but still got a long journey. So I don't like to celebrate too early. But that's it, guys. Just look for Bub or Not everywhere. I do a lot of tabletop stuff, and I'm trying to focus on wellness and whatnot. So that's me.
Okay, the other one with touchstone problems, specifically getting new ones through the Second Inquisition, Dakota Rain, Little Red Dot, Chelsea, what about you?
I'm Little Red Dot. As said, you can find me online doing Twitch things, telling stories, rolling die, kind of all over the place. So, I got a finale this week over on my channel, so you can keep up with that. And the best way to do it is just to follow me on Twitter, so you don't miss a moment of all of the angsty drama. Full of it, just fucking full of it. God, and I love seeing Chat. I have to let you know, I love seeing the pontifications of who Dakota's crush is.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So I don't know where you got all pull this from. Just I'm just impressed by the laundry list of NPCs that I've forgotten about.
Dakota Grant. I think it's the ship that's coming. Just saying. Let's
Rhoda.
go with the one who has the most touching problem, that being getting hold of coffee at the beginning of an episode. Storytelling, Mathis Games. Math, what about you?
Mathis Games everywhere. You can find me. Wednesday nights, I run a Star Wars game on Lost Initial Show, which is my D&D channel, which is an Old Republic era game that we're playing with. We've also got Illuminati podcast every week or every other week, depending on how deep the research ends up having to go. Yesterday I lost myself in the Did We Shift Timeline / Universes in 2012 with the Hadron Collider and discovering the Higgs boson particle. That's really fun. That's just an existential crisis just sitting there. Yeah. I could it's the worst. But anyway, that's me. Hello.
Okay, and the guilty party. Ava, hello, is Miss Magitech. Tracy, who are you? What do you do?
Hello, everybody. You can find me everywhere at Miss Magitech. I make YouTube videos, I stream sometimes, and I talk a lot about The Witcher on all of my things.
You talk about The Witcher? Really?
Sometimes. Sometimes I do. In
That's
case you
fair.
didn't know.
Exactly.
Hey, and me and see, we were twins and we had matching notebooks, but now we don't. So you have to use a new notebook. So
what?
Sorry, Crowley.
Why don't we use notebooks?
This was the Ava Zach notebook thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
leaving only the most human cannibal of all.
Good old Crowley.
Well. Hi. I'm Elysium. You can catch me at youtube.com/Elysium. I'm currently recording a few different things. I'm playing Frostpunk the last autumn, trying to ace it, do it well ahead of time, build the generator, build full upgrades, and save as many people as possible. Also doing a few other things, including Phoenix Point, which might be absolutely buggered because they updated the game to make it harder without actually fixing any of the bugs. So I think all my troops are fucked. So I'm not actually sure, unless they release a new patch that actually fixes some of the issues. I think that might be coming to a close, and I'm sure we play some other stuff. Twitch.tv/Elysium as well. We'll stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, and there will be a new show coming on Tuesdays as well. I know people have been asking for a while, and that is now in the works and should be coming at some point in the next few weeks or maybe a month, depending on that. So with that said, we do have Blades in the Dark tomorrow, so go check that out when it happens. It'll be the same time as normal on tomorrow, that is Sunday, and we're gonna go do after shows and drink copious amounts of libations. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, may the dice roll ever in your favor.
Goodbye.